Wherever you are on this beautiful planet, guys, what is happening? What is happening to our Bitcoin? What is up? Now you can see me. Now you don't. What's happening, guys? Okay, looks like we are live now. Finally. So what is happening with altcoins? Are they dead? Okay, everyone has this question, this cycle. What is happening with altcoin? Before we start, today is Friday night. Okay? And I'm doing this live with all odds against us, with Elon Musk fighting with Trump. We have the wars going on, geopolitical events going on, Powell not doing anything about the interest rates, or quantitative easing is not happening. QT keeps on going. What is happening? Okay, let's see. Okay, let's see what is happening. We are going to dissect everything and calm your nerves. All right. All right. Okay, let's look at Bitcoin. Look at Bitcoin. Okay, April 4th. Actually April 9th. I made a post on April 9th when Bitcoin, right here, when we were $75,000, right at the bottom. Again, I'm not God, I'm not 100% right, but here, man, you know, again and again, we have nailed Bitcoin at the bottom, okay? There are so many altcoins. In a short term, I cannot be precise on, you know, exact things. You know, things go off sometimes. But here, at $75,000, if you look at the post here, on April 9th, I posted this scenario. Bitcoin second scenario. Right? That posted this price to 107 right here. We went up way earlier, because you see here July, August, I was expecting $100,000, but we went, you know, but that was my number, okay? That $107,000, $108,000, but this was posted at the bottom right here. The bottom was 75,337. This is when I said we'll go up, and look what happened. Like, this was the bottom. This is a 4-hour chart. Let's do it an hourly. One day. Right, look at this. Perfect bottoming. Form the pattern. Okay, I think there's a possibility Bitcoin still has little room to go down. It can go down right here. This is this big support that we have. If you look, we've been following Bitcoin for a long time. We nailed this bottom right here. If you see on the Patreon, we nailed that bottom. Nailed it. Okay? So this is the trend line. At one point, I don't know when, Bitcoin will come to kiss it at some point. Okay? When exactly? I don't know. And we have never gone down below it. Like here, you can say we went a little below it, right? Not significantly. If you look on a weekly, this is the daily, right? If you see just marginally, we went down. We just kissed it. And always when we kiss that, we go up, right? So I do think that at some point, you know, it could be September. It could be July. Bitcoin will come to say goodbye once and for all to this trend line, and it'll become insignificant. But now, what do I think now in the short term? In the short term, I feel what can happen. This is 4 hours Bitcoin chart, 4 hourly. Okay. Short term is not very precise. I keep on mentioning short term is not very precise. We try to do as much as we can. But here, I think there's a possibility of Bitcoin coming to this price right here. Between, I would say, 97 to this level right here. You see this? even 95, 97 to 95. That's the range. Something like this could happen. I wouldn't be shocked. Some sort of news comes in and, you know, we boom, go down, you know, come back right up again at 104, come back down again, wait a few days here, and then we go back up again, come close to the all-time high, almost 111, or there's a possibility we make a new all-time high to 115, right? That's how I see it. And then after that, Bitcoin slows down again. It slows down again because we have to say goodbye to our trend line. Remember the trend line that I talked about? There is a strong possibility that Bitcoin can come and kiss this trend line the last time. The last time. Right there. Come on it. Kiss it. And then we could waste time here like that. Or, you know, and then come down to probably, you know, this level right here. See, we stayed here a lot of time. So come out of this trend line and just gets everyone worried. Right. It's a possibility, okay? Technical analysis is all about possibility. Go to 92, 91, right? But that is a long time before that happens. You know, we could make another all-time high before that. But that's how I see it. This is one scenario. Okay? I have a few other scenarios I have posted on my Patreon that how I see Bitcoin going. But first coming to 95, between 97 to 95 right now is the key. If we do come to that level, can Bitcoin bounce back from here? Yeah, everything can happen. Everything is possible. But I still think that we could come to 97, 95. I know you'll be like, man, I'm not worried about Bitcoin. Tell me something about altcoins. What's happening with altcoins? What is happening to my altcoin? That is in deep trouble. What's happening? Cheers, brother. Dale. Cheers, man. I have no more monies. Likewise, brother. All out, all in. I was at the Bitcoin conference. Met so many cool people, man. So many cool people. They were like, you came by yourself? I was like, yeah. I did came by myself. But then, you know, we had fun. Let's see what is happening. The most important thing is the Bitcoin dominance. Let's see what is happening with Bitcoin dominance. I had the chart somewhere posted right there. Okay. Right here, Bitcoin dominance. Okay. See, what I see, Bitcoin dominance could come back down in this range right here. But not now. It is possible that we keep on going. Look at this. You see this? We kissed one, got out. Usually, like, Bitcoin likes to do that. You see the wicks here? So I think we are getting closer to Bitcoin dominance. Is probably wearing out, if at all. To give a benefit of doubt, if I give, you know, can it go up? Yeah, it can go up to 70%. Yes, there's a possibility. Do I think? I don't think so. What I think's going to happen is, well, the alt season that we all talk about, we cannot get alt season without Bitcoin dominance going down. Okay, it's at super high. In this whole thing, only once we got Bitcoin dominance down significantly here. If you look at it, So I think Bitcoin dominance will hang out here until July. Until July, we could just make people frustrated. You know, you come down just a little bit, right? The Bitcoin dominance comes down a little bit, then goes up. Keeps on doing this until mid of July. Mid of July, one more leg up, you know, almost close to 65%. And then we start a downward spiral like that, you know, which could. This is where if we get a huge pullback in Bitcoin dominance to this level, why am I particularly, you know, because we spend a lot of time here. So this is where I would take some profits. If I get a huge pullback to this level right here, between 54 to 53%, that's where I'm taking profits. But I don't think Bitcoin dominance is going to go down. I think, you know, it'll go sideways in this action. Make you tired, sell your shit, you know, you get tired. Nobody's looking at crypto anymore. But yeah, they want you to be frustrated and get out. Everyone's frustrated. Trust me, I am frustrated too. But this is psychology. We are so close. We are very close, man. Very, very close. I can see the light at the tunnel. I'll show you. The more you look at this video, you will see what I'm talking about, right? This is one part of the whole parcel, what we are talking about, right? So this is when I think I'm going to take some huge profits when Bitcoin dominance drops to this range. After that, I expect a boom, bounce back almost to this level, right? 62% bounce back in Bitcoin dominance. Again, what happens to altcoins? They get slaughtered. But this is when I think by July, August, June could be sideways or not huge action. But yeah, that's what I think is going to happen to the Bitcoin dominance. Once we come to this point, we get a significant pullback in July, August. September has never been a good month for crypto. Never. You know, if you look at all the cycles so far, if you look at September, is one of the worst months. So it starts, usually people wait for September. It starts in August. So if we reach this level by July, if we reach, you know, here somewhere in this range by July or start of the August, you know, July, mid-August, if we reach here, then I am surely taking profits, not looking at anything else, because this is a significant drop. If the Bitcoin dominance drops to this level, let us see. Okay, this is just my theory. Okay, this is my theory because I'm looking at a lot of altcoins which are in shambles, and we will look at others dominance. Okay, this is others dominance. What is others? You'll be like, Shrey, what is this chart? These are all cryptos except the top 10 cryptos. All cryptos except top 10 cryptos. Very important chart to track. Okay. Right. So okay. If you go any lower than this, then, you know, you might as well think that we will go to this level, 4.96. Will it? I don't think so. I think this is the bottom for the all the altcoins. Well, I could be wrong. You know, it depends how you look at it, right? Look, there's a way to look at it. Is this right there? You can call this a channel or call this a channel. I'll change the colors so you get a better perspective. Okay. The blue is make it a little lighter. So these are two channels. We can't get any lower than this. If we do get any lower than this, then Bitcoin, the others, the altcoin dominance could, if we lose this level, then we could drop to this 5.5% level and, you know, come kiss it. But why do I think that we will not do that? It's because of this. See? We're gonna kiss this. This is a monthly chart. You look at the weekly. The perfect example of a triangle. Look at this. Perfect example of a triangle. We start here, kiss, kiss here, kiss here, kiss here. That's a bottom. That's a bottom. Every cycle. This is one of the longest grueling bear market we ever got. You know, since the existence of crypto. This is one of the longest. Okay. Whoever was into crypto is like gone now. You know, you can see in this live, right? How many people here? How's everyone? Guys, if you're not subscribed, you got to be subscribed to comment or ask me any questions if you want. If you're wondering who this guy is, I've predicted Bitcoin to the T. I don't want to be a cocky a-hole, but I've predicted Bitcoin to the T. Okay? You can go back and look at all my videos. Only if you subscribe, you'll be able to comment on the videos or, you know, get into the chat. So looking at the Bitcoin dominance, there's another thing, the most important thing a lot of people forget, that United States central bank balance sheet has not been printing. Okay. Let me show you the chart that I'm talking about. It's called, because they don't do weekly, they only do monthly. US. Right here. Okay. So this is the United States Central Bank balance sheet. What does that mean? They've been selling their treasuries. Okay. This is Federal Reserve's balance sheet. When you United States government issues debt, okay, it's a whole debt economy. If you keep on listening, what is debt? U.S. debt. What is debt? We have 31 trillion some debt on us. What is this debt? We issue bonds, like, and borrow money from other people, other countries like China, Japan, Europe, UK. Everyone buys our bond and we pay yield on that bond. Okay. And if there are no buyers, there are times, in difficult times, Federal Reserve themselves have bought treasuries. It's called a buyback program. Whenever they buy back treasuries, that means they have a loan. You know, this year, the treasury bonds are like 3 years, 5 years, 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, right? They're different. I'm just giving an example. There are different maturity dates for the treasury bonds. And according to what I have read online, about $9 trillion are supposed to mature this year in 2025. And by July, 55% of them out of 9 trillion are due, okay, by July. And so all these countries, you know, buy our treasuries, but instead of buying now, China and Japan have been dumping treasuries. There are a lot of auctions. You know, treasuries have auctions, right? And people buy at a certain price, but there are no buyers. So United States Federal Reserve started buying these treasuries. Again, the buyback program is nothing significant. So that's That's why it's not in the news right now. Because there are no more buyers. You know, India bought right now some treasuries from United States. China bought, you know, just a little bit. You know, the new treasuries, new bonds. But there are about $9 trillion that is maturing this year. And who's going to buy it? Because the Federal Reserve is buying, like, you know, in a month they buy 5 billion, 10 billion. That is like a drop in a bucket. So who's going to buy all these treasuries? At some point, this printing press will go berserk. It's just a matter of time. And this is when we will get our alt season. Until I feel this is quantitative tightening at a scale where we should be under depression right now. I am just wondering how people are surviving, paying for bills, or, you know, what is happening. You know, people don't understand. Like when Great Depression happened, I don't have the numbers here, but what the research that I've done, about 38% of the money supply was taken away from the economy during the Great Depression. This chart does not go until 1929. Okay, Federal Reserve, I think, came into existence because of the Great Depression. Right. So the United States balance sheet here, if you look at our balance sheet since 2003, this is they print money and the amount of money they take it out of the economy. Every time they take money out of the economy, there are huge crashes. Huge. Okay. Here they started printing in 2008. Look, they started printing, and, you know, the money supply was contracted. The money supply was contracted how much? This was only 15% contraction in money supply. And what happened to the market? What happened to the real estate industry? Everything got demolished, gone, right? You've seen $400,000 home selling for $200,000. This is the 2008 financial fiasco, right? Going up every time we take money out of the system. Stock market collapses, real estate collapses. If you see here, we started going down in 2017. We printed all this money, and then we started contracting the money supply. What happened? Until 2019, it started going down, right? And then what happened when we started printing? We started printing, and this is when we got our alt season, and all our cryptos went berserk, right? In 2020. Look, so what happened now? This is the biggest contraction of money supply, the biggest QT since 2003, right? Biggest contraction. This in 2008 it was 15%. In 2017 it was almost 17%. Look at this. This is like almost close to 26%. That is crazy. I don't think, you know, this is coming. We are in a territory which is very close to the Great Depression era, where you squeeze, you know, this is called a tight squeeze, you know, tight squeeze on people. Everybody feels poor. When everybody feels poor, nobody, you know, people know the market's down. They know everything, right? That this is a great time to put money, but they don't have the money, right? As my friend Dale Bonehart said, that he's out of money, right? Out of money. No money left. Tomek Joseph, how are you, brother? Greetings from Croatia. How are you, brother? It's been long. I remember the old days in when I used to come late night streams, remember? Good old days, brother. You're my brothers. We are in this together. I will make sure each of you do well. I have made it my, how shall I say, a pack, bro. You know, I want you guys to do well, and we gonna fuck shit up, bro. Trust me. Just a little bit more patience. Just don't get greedy. Just don't get greedy. We will do well. I was coming back to this chart called Others, okay? So I do think this is the bottom of Others. Okay, so I will delete this particular channel. Okay, and I feel this is the level I'm taking huge profits. I don't give a damn where all my other charts, because it always gets confusing. It always gets confusing when you look at individual charts and don't look at the bigger picture. If you look at individual charts, it's a recipe of getting fucked by a rhino, you know, I would say. So look at this, right? Look at this dominance. Anytime the dominance goes into these levels, we are at the bottom, right? We are, look at this. We are at the bottom. As the market cap goes up, this dominance is going to go up, okay? But right now, we're on this channel, and I don't want to take a bloody chance. You know, when we come close to 20% dominance, because I'm being very conservative, and I could be wrong. But, bro, I'm not going to take any chance when we come close. This is the Others chart. Others means all the altcoins except the top 10. Top 10. Okay? It's possible. Okay? It's possible that we go do this, you know? Do this. And we reach here at 20%. And have, you know, hang around there for a few months. And then have a big pullback. That pullback will be so horrible. It'll be a drawdown of 80%, 80% to 70%. And I don't want to be any part of it, man. As soon as we get around 20%, around 19 to 20%, you know, we could possibly go to 24%. The wick could go to 24%. I'm not going to be greedy. But this is when I'll be taking profits or getting out of the market. You know, is there a possibility for this dominance to go up, you know, from here? And go like that? Yes, there's a possibility, but I don't give a flying F-U-C-K. I can make money in the real world. You know, we all have obligations at the end of the day, right? There are some long-term investments that I'm never gonna sell. Like, I want to show you a chart, okay? I will talk about it again. You'll be like, oh, this guy keeps on talking about Bitcoin Cash. Bitcoin Cash. Okay? BCH. Here. I strongly believe. Look, the chart's ready. I strongly believe. I've raised my targets. If you hear my targets, your ears gonna start to bleed. You'll be like, this guy is insane. He's stupid. I should stop watching him. You know. Yeah, but that's what I think, okay? It is a chart, man. I'm not pulling numbers from my ass. We've been going sideways for so long. This should have gone berserk. In a real world, this should have gone up like this. All right? And like that, okay? But just because we are dragging, the longer we drag, the bigger number I have for Bitcoin Cash. So, you know, the number that I have is ridiculous. That's the 2618 on a fib. You know, I am not pulling numbers. I believe in nature, and I believe in Fibonacci retracement. Human beings, nature, everything. 618 is the golden ratio. Everything comes down to Fibonacci. And I do believe in fib. And these are the levels that the fib's telling me where Bitcoin Cash could go. I was like, should I say these numbers? Well, ridiculous, right? I was like, yeah, but these are the numbers. You know, if at all we cross this $10,000 mark, okay, I think Bitcoin Cash is going to $10,000, between $9,000 to $10,000. Here, these are the numbers are here. I'm being conservative when I say 7,800 and the top is 10,600. This could be the top. Yes, it's possible. This could be the top, right? But if we cross this number, then that 20,000 number that I had before for Bitcoin Cash goes out of the window, because the new number is between $35,000 to $43,000 for one Bitcoin Cash. Yes, it's not me. It's the charts, bro. It's not me. It's just the charts. I'm not pulling numbers from anywhere. Okay, these are the numbers that I see and I'm posting. Okay, so that's the number. Yes, bro, long time. I'm doing good. We're still waiting for you. I did 30K on Bitcoin Cash because of you. Oh, awesome, brother. Robert Richards. The market is still irrational, but I'm still solvent. Good, Robert. Robert and me met in Bali. It was amazing, man. Imagine two brothers, crypto brothers. You know, he lives in Australia. I live in the United States. You know, we go to, Bali. I was traveling with my buddies and I see Robert. It's just fantastic, man. It's unbelievable. We had a good time. Robert's an amazing guy, by the way. Good guy. You can't stop living your life, I was in a miserable state, at one point where I was not taking care of my health. Nothing, you're just glued to one thing. And what started to happen is, my health was like dramatically started deteriorating. But I started this diet, this is off topic of crypto, but if you want to get healthy, what I've seen, I used to snore a lot. And I used to have this ear ringing problem, tetanus, what it's called? Tinnitus? Something like that, where you get, ear ringing. And I used to get vertigo. Out of nowhere, I'm driving my car and I would get dizzy as fuck, like that. Everything starts to spin. It was really bad, man. I thought I was going to die or something, So I went to the, ER and told them that this is what happened. But my eustachian tube, my middle ear is clogged because I went to Thailand. I went scuba diving, and the next day I flew. So, it got stuck in my ear. But the fluid got stuck. But everything changed when I went on a diet, okay? When I went on this diet, I only eat chicken, fish, and eggs. And I eat vegetables like broccoli, asparagus, or green beans. And everything is just gone, bro. Gone. My snoring stopped the first 2 weeks I started this diet. First 2 weeks, I went on chicken. I don't eat wheat at all, like zero. I cut off wheat and I cut off rice from my diet. And I've lost 27 pounds. Robert has seen me, how fat I was, okay? When I was, I've lost 27 pounds in 4 months. I was 222 pounds. Now I'm 191 pounds. More than 27, actually. But it was significant, man. My vertigo stopped since past 4 months. I haven't, got my ear ringing stopped. My vertigo stopped. I can breathe. At night. I used to wake up. The girl that I date, she used to tell me that you stop breathing, Shrey, when you sleep. In the middle of the night, I used to stop breathing. I had sleep apnea. I would wake up gushing for air, like that, And now I sleep. For me to sleep more than 4 hours, 5 hours is very difficult. Now I sleep 6 hours. It's fantastic. I get a good night's sleep. The quality of life has improved. Oh, there's one more addition that I have done to my diet is I drink this juice. It's made of, I use beetroot, celery, turmeric, ginger, cucumber. Then I put carrots in it. And to sweeten it up, because I make my parents drink that juice too, I add apple, oranges, and a pineapple, right? So I do this juice in a batch, right? The first thing in the morning is I drink a big glass of juice. I make a batch and put it in glass bottles. Like I drink this Mayomi, right? So I just, these bottles I use, wine bottles, to store this juice. And it lasts me 4 or 5 days. And I think either it's the diet or the juice which has impacted. If I drink this one glass of juice, I don't feel hungry for another 4 hours. So this is when I have my first meal. I have these 5 eggs. And eggs, again, guys, whoever, if you want your ding dong to be like this, like hard in the morning, I'm 45. And in the morning, I get my ding dong so hard like a teenager. It's just crazy. If you don't need to take Viagra or anything, man. If you're an older guy, especially older guys, and if you're having ED problem or anything like that, you don't get hard-ons anymore early in the morning, then I'm telling you, bro, eggs. There are times when I'm lazy and I don't have food and I don't feel like going to a grocery store, and I have only eggs in the house, right? So how I notice is because instead of eating carbs, my first meal was 5 eggs and broccoli. My second meal was 5 eggs and broccoli. Oh, bro, my dick was like this. It was crazy. If you eat 10 eggs, whole eggs, and broccoli, or have a source of fat, I have a spoon of ghee every day. Because your body is composed of protein, fibers, carbohydrates, right, and water. So you can't cut fats off. So I have good fat. So I have a spoon of ghee, or I make my chicken in ghee. But I'm telling you, the quality of life has improved like crazy, man. If you're an older person, man, or even young, if you want a good quality, all the money in the world can't help you if you're not fit. Like I can't bring back time, right? No matter how much money. My dad's 85. He can barely walk. And I don't want to be that person, man. I want to keep myself fit. So it was an effort, especially in a depressing time when your altcoins are not moving, when shit is not happening. It's very tough to motivate yourself. But nobody's going to come and help you except you, So I have to tell myself that, hey, wake up, motherfucker. Let's go to the gym. Let's go take some sunlight. I walk about 5,000 to 10,000 steps every day, 7 days a week. So there are some days off that I take, but I train myself. Nobody's going to come and help me and say, hey, wake up, I was the one who used to take my buddies when we used to go to the gym. I used to wake them up. I was like, come on, motherfucker. Like 5 o'clock in the morning. Let's go to the gym, right? So nobody's going to do that for me. So I have to force myself to take some sunlight. I make sure I take half an hour of sunlight. If you think about it, we are in this house every day or at work, not able to take sunlight. When did your life start to deteriorate? When you start going out. Every living thing on the planet survives on the sun, except humans. We stay in the house, and then we have to take vitamin D pills. So I've decided to take half an hour every day. I need to make sure I'm outside, take sun, walk 5,000 to 10,000, and stick on my diet. The only bad thing I do is this and this, okay? And eventually it'll stop. I'll make sure that when I see my friends, I drink. And yeah, this thing I'm going to quit forever. But yeah, not good. But drinking, man, it's my friend's thing, What are you going to do if you're not going to drink? But I think science is going ahead where average human life in the future will be 150 years. If you keep yourself good, I don't know if you want to live that long. I'm a very happy person, man. I'm a very happy person. I'm very optimistic. I don't believe in gloom and doom. Even with AI and everything, the world's going to be a beautiful place. We are going through a construction phase where everything, shit looks ugly before it becomes brand new. So we are going through a construction phase where, people will be sacrificed. So if we just survive and don't get sacrificed in this process, then we're going to come up ahead, and life's going to be beautiful. People will have a lot of time in the future because of AI, and things going to be easy, and there'll be a lot of innovations, art, personality, next thing big, I feel, will be personality. If you don't have a personality, people will be invisible because you'll be replaced. So individuality, personality, and communication skills will be the key, because rest of the thing will be resolved by AI. So what is left is how you are with people. If people like you, people love you, they will work with you. They'll do business with you. But yeah, so it's a very important skill that if you don't have one, not everyone's an extrovert. You have to work on it, and it could be learned. Sorry about this rant, bro. I went from crypto to this. Let's get back. But I've been meeting so many good people, intelligent people. I want to surround myself with these people. It's incredible. So look at this Bitcoin chart. Okay, this is a long-term Bitcoin chart. If you want to find this chart, you will find this. It's called Bitcoin Liquid Index. You will see Bitcoin back from 2010. Okay, this is the longest chart you will find for Bitcoin on internet. Okay, I'm gonna give a very positive scenario for Bitcoin. Very positive. Extremely positive today. Extremely positive. Bitcoin has Bitcoin has been on this channel for a long time. Okay, for a long time. Like, look at this, man. It's just perfect. We came out here, but it's been just perfect. And if you see, I was noticing the first cycle, I shouldn't say the first cycle here, this cycle from here to here was for almost 1500 days, 1491. Let's do a marker here, so you know. This cycle was from here to here, 1491. The second cycle right here, you can call this the top, 1400. That is very odd. That's very odd. Rarely happens. I believe as crypto is very tumultuous. Any asset, if you look at any asset, okay, don't believe me, but just go look at the chart. When an asset starts, it's very tumultuous. If you look at Apple, you look at Amazon, you look at Facebook or anything, everything crashes. The first investors who invested in the coin, or the offering, they usually, the initial seed investors, you know, they invest for peanuts. So they have this lot of stock, you know, so, and they sell. So that's how it goes. Initial few years are very tumultuous for any asset, okay? And people who get into it always usually get wrecked. But if you have a long-term trajectory, the cycle becomes longer and longer and longer, okay? Any asset. And there's a point in a cycle where the retracement is not that huge, okay? And with Bitcoin, I feel we are coming to a stage where I don't think those 80% retracement will come into play, okay? I'm not negating that it will not happen, okay? But we are coming to the stage where the drawdowns won't be 80%. It could be 45, 60%, you know, possibly. But that 80% drawdown in Bitcoin that we've been getting, 70, 80%, I think those days could be gone, okay? And this cycle could be longer than people expect, Okay, when I say longer, I'm not talking about 2028 or anything like that bullshit. Okay, but the crashes might, I would change my theory because I'm like an investigator. Whatever evidence I get, I go with that. So far, I'm getting this evidence that, what we're looking at, it looks like that we are heading to 135. Okay, if by August we hit 135, by July, August we hit 135, there's a possibility, by the end of the year we could be talking about $220,000 to $260,000 for a Bitcoin. Okay, and that is a huge market cap which cannot be manipulated easily. And if Bitcoin sticks to this channel, then there's a possibility at one day you will see $1 million Bitcoin, and a lot more. Okay, but there's always a but. I'll see with the evidence. As of now, we've been sticking to this channel, and I've looked at assets that keeps on going. There will be a stage where we will get a top, and there'll be a long term. When I say long term, there'll be a 10-year bear market for Bitcoin. We go down, Bitcoin comes back to these levels, goes up, reaches 1 million, 2 million, 3 million, and then after that starts a long bear market, 10-year bear market, where we go like this, sideways before we go up. Okay, there will come a stage where Bitcoin goes in a long-term bear market, because this is a long-term bull market. Okay, like thing went from fucking zero, okay, to these levels. You have to understand. So there will come a stage where Bitcoin will have a long bear market, and you don't want to be anywhere close to that. Okay, so but if you think if this will be a world global currency in the future, then dollar goes up and down every day. Do you care? You don't care, right? Like, you still have to buy milk, you still have to buy goods to eat, right? Why do you care if dollar goes up and down? Like in a bigger picture. So that's how I feel Bitcoin could become a world reserve currency, and every country buys this. But people who created Bitcoin, they are going to take profit. Life is all about profit. So people who created Bitcoin, they will take profit around this time, 2030, 2035, 2032, whenever that happens. Not now. You'll get a small pullback, here and there, 60, 70%. But I think 2030s is the time when a big profit will be taken. And that profit, you cannot take from this asset, because if you want this currency to survive, you cannot just rug it like you rug an altcoin, right? You rug it slowly in a very measured way. So that will happen, okay? But I don't think that happens before $1 million or $3 million Bitcoin. That's a possibility, okay? As I said, as evidence comes, I am not God. I look at what the evidence is, and I am saying things upon that. But as of now, I am very bullish on crypto, particularly on Bitcoin and everything else. Right now, from now onwards, until 250 days, 250 to 300 days. Mark your calendars from today to 250 days is bullish. Okay, in between you get dumps that don't matter. But if you look at a longer picture, 250 days, it'll be upward action. There will be pullbacks. Okay, we're not gonna go up. How we gonna go up is like this, very tumultuous. We will go up like this. Like this we're gonna go up. Okay, so will you be able to handle it? You have to. There's no choice. Your shit's down right now. ISOH. Isao. Damn wolves, can you try to Ventus? I will, brother. Perfect, man. I dropped. By the way, this wine's the best wine. Miami. If you want to try it, Miami. It's a Pinot Noir. Amazing wine. Where were we? So, crypto total market cap. Where do I expect crypto total market cap? Again, these are not the numbers that I'm pulling out of my ass. This is, this is what I see. 618. 618 is here. It's $631 billion. So for me, the next target up is here. Between 17 to $20 trillion. But at what level will I sell? It depends, will I wait? Because I have PTSD. I've been investing my whole life, into crypto. Like dollar cost averaging and, putting money constantly, It's just pouring in. And there are a couple of bad scams that took my huge, I would say big amount of capital as well. But, you have to take good with bad. And this is the last time, I think, I'm 45, man. I wouldn't be taking these many risks when I'm 60. So I've seen some staggering 60-year-old taking huge risks in crypto. But I don't know if I will have. We will see. I don't know. 60 years, few years away, But I don't know if I would have that ability, and I don't think I will need that ability for during that time after this bull run. But yeah, man, the goal is to be a billionaire in 15 years. Crypto can do that, and people will be like, what are you talking about? I was like, you're only 10x away from being a billionaire. First million is the most important thing. If you have a million, if you have 10 million, anybody with significant capital, if you hit 10 million, you're only 10x away from 100 million. If you have 100 million, you're only 10x away from a billion. It's not rocket science. When you look at these numbers, they sound huge. Okay, Warren Buffett didn't build anything. He just invested, and he invested right. He didn't get greedy. He took out his money. I'm talking 15 years, but it might take 20 years, 25 years. Okay? But it's possible if you do it correctly. But does that mean I'm going to do only this? No, I have, I like building things. I envision things and making things into reality. God has given me, I want to use my mind to its best potential. So I'm going to work, I'm going to, make things. I'm going to make apartment buildings. I'm going to make motels. I'm going to buy farms, get a greenhouse. I have imagined a huge greenhouse that I want to build, But yeah, these are the other things other projects that I want to do. But I have the ability of attention to detail, looking at small things, which Other people don't. That's why I love TA and fashion. People, you'll be like, oh, how is this similar? Because it's attention to detail. Small little things make you different than anybody else. And it just, you don't even know, you don't even realize why this thing looks good. Because it's attention to detail, small little things. So just like that, in TA, it's just like that. You have to find those small little things. And you find that before anybody else does, you can make shitload of money. Shitload of money. It can be taught. It can be taught. You have to have an eye for it. A lot of people say to me, hey, Shrey, come up with a course. I'll pay you $6,000. I paid this guy $6,000 for this course. I was like, I'll be just bullshitting you. You know, it's just, you have to spend time and have to have an eye for it. But crypto total market cap. Okay. There are two ways I'm looking at this, and both of them are telling me this number here, man. Right there. 17. You know, I'm being very conservative. You see how where I push these lines? Always, you know, I'm not pushing it on a wick. I'm being very conservative when I'm pushing these lines. That's why the total crypto market cap between 17 to $20 trillion. And if I'm calling for 20%, if you look at the others chart, what is 20% of $20 trillion? So let's look at the market cap of others. Okay, let's look at the market cap, total market cap. Where's the total market cap of others? Oh, right here. The others total market cap right now, it's $241 billion. Others market cap. $241 billion. So if the total market cap is going between 17 to $20 trillion, okay, being conservative, okay, being conservative, the total market cap, if the total market cap is going between, I would say, again, 17 to $20 trillion, just to get a round number, I'm putting 20, you know, so 20 trillion. So what is, if you look at the Bitcoin dominance, the others dominance, I'm saying between 19 to 20%. This is what I'm getting out. So 20% of $20 trillion, to get the round number. I think it's going to be 16 or 17 trillion dollars is pushing it. But, you know, I'm just saying, okay, just imagine. To get the round numbers, $20 trillion, okay? What is a 20% of $20 trillion? Calculated. Had few glasses, man. 10 trillions is 20%. It's 2 trillion, right? So, you know, it's $4 trillion, right? $4 trillion. Let's look at that. Let's look at the chart if it tells us where we are going. So I call for the top somewhere between the Q1 to Q2 of 2026. Okay. Again, being conservative, right? So $3 to $4 trillion. I'm being very conservative. Or the total crypto market cap of others. These are not excluding top 10 cryptos. We are not even close to that. But do I think I'm going to wait to that? I'll start unloading the moment we reach around $2 trillion. I'm going to dump on every motherfucker on the planet, you know? Because by the time we are $2 trillion, that's a lot of money. You understand? We are $241 billion right now. And if the other's market cap reaches $2 trillion, I'm not taking a chance of some chart or anything like that. I'll be unloading stuff. You don't sell at the top. You sell while it's going up. You know, you start unloading. And 20% I'm never going to sell. If it goes to zero, I'm never going to sell. So, you know, I have my foot in one door and one out. So I'm not worried. The only thing I don't want to repeat, if it goes up, there will be a seller's remorse, okay? That I'm ready for it. If that happens, that's fine. But I don't want to go with this another 4 or 5 year of bullshit, okay? I don't want to go. Damn wolves, can you chart Aventus? Okay, let's do Aventus. Hold on, brother. This live is just to get you a bigger picture where we are, what's happening. Look at the altcoin market cap. So, you know, there are a lot of nerves right now in the market, right? So this gives you a little idea what's happening. Look at this. This is the altcoin market cap except Bitcoin, okay? Excludes Bitcoin. Look at where we are. Look at a closer look. Bro. This thing's gonna moon so hard. If and when that happens. This thing's gonna be like this. It's gonna look like this, okay? Like that. Okay. Let's look at the fib levels where I feel comfortable. $2,618 is where I feel comfortable, and I'm being conservative, okay? I'm being conservative. Look at these wicks. 2618. I think we are going to 2618. We're going to kiss 2618. But am I going to wait until then? You know? Am I going to wait for a $40,000 Bitcoin cash? No. You know, we get $5,000 Bitcoin cash. I'm out, bro. You will not see me. You will not see me. That is a lot of money for me. $5,000 Bitcoin cash is a lot of money for me. I'm not gonna gamble that money. That can change my life and my whole next few generations.
Break it down.
I'm Mexican and Japanese. Rice is life for both. Bro, I'm Indian. The only thing we eat is wheat and rice. But, you know, you have to, you know, at some stage, when you're young, I don't know how old you are. When you reach a certain age, you have to start worry about your health because genetics play a huge role as well. You may have a superhuman genetic. You know, I've seen people who eat shit, okay, who smoke cigars. They live 80, 90 years, okay? My friend's grandfather lived 90 years. He's been smoking, not even cigarette, pure tobacco. He used to smoke pure tobacco. He lived fucking 90 years, you know? So, hey, I know what suits me. I was giving information, what has changed my life and my quality of life at present. I'm not worried about the future, but I believe my body had a lot of inflammation. And I was trying to find the cause. Why was it inflamed? When I wake up in the morning, my face was puffy, you know? It was like a fucking watermelon, you know? I had my feet were, you know, swollen. Every time I fly, long flights, my feet used to get swollen. All that thing is gone, man. And I think it's because of the diet, you know, just stick to meat. You know, I stuck to meat. I eat lamb, chicken, fish, eggs, you know, that's it. And vegetables. And it could be delicious. You know, you can make a good salad and still be good. Every now and then, it's not like that I'm not touching bread, or, you know, if I was in Vegas, I had a nice hoagie. So once in a while, you gotta treat yourself. Every 2 weeks, 3 weeks, I eat whatever the fuck I want. But on a regular basis, you gotta stick to a good regime. That's what I'm doing. You know, everyone, because my health was fucked, bro. My heart used to have heart palpitations, like used to beat like that. So yeah. But anyways, let's look at altcoins, different altcoins. What is happening? Hey, Miranda, how are you, Miranda? You know, they have a drink called Miranda in India. They have a drink called Miranda. It's orange, like a Fanta. It's called Miranda. How are you, Miranda? Okay, let's look at altcoins. We looked at Bitcoin Cash. Let's look at Aventus, like the way one of our friends requested. Aventus. Whoa, 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 whoa. Is this current? Yes, it is. Look at that accumulation, man. Yeah, you can't lose this level, man. You can't lose this level for Aventus. It's crucial not to lose this level. And where are we gonna go? Next level up, if you consider this as a channel, the next level up would be here, like 20 bucks. It's not me, it's a chart. If you go any lower than this, then we are fucked with Aventus. If Aventus does this, then that big run that we've been calling for, it'll be a small run. It won't be a big run. Then Aventus comes into this channel like that. Okay? And Aventus gets fucked. We come to this level. What is this? 71, possibly 65 cents. Okay? And then you get a small bull run. You know, from there, you get a small bull run like that to $12, pushing it. The wick goes to $18 or $20 like that. But if we hold this level, if Aventus holds this level and we stick to this, then sky's the limit, my brother. There's a bigger channel right there. Okay, so first thing first, if we cross $20, $20 to $25, then we'll start thinking bigger numbers. But as of now, $20 to $25 is the number that we are looking at for Aventus. It's 161 right now. Once we come to that position, we will look at Aventus again. But as of now, it looks like that's where we're getting. You know, if we lose this number and we go down to these levels, 65 and 70 cents level, then, you know, you have to cut that number in half, or just, you know, like just goes up to 15, you know, $13. Sunny thing, Shrey can degen on base go to 13 cents at peak. You didn't have to do $2, bro. What $2 gonna do to me? I stay in America, you know that, right? Bro, I'll do it for free. I'm drunk. He don't need to pay me. I'm in a good mood today. I usually charge. What is the thing that you wanted? Degen. This is the balance sheet, okay? If we go down any below this will be Great Depression. I don't think we go down. We go up, you know, from here. But it's going to take a while, okay? Look at this. United States balance sheet. I presume we go like this and then go straight up like that. And next print will be like 13 to 14 trillion dollars. Or else everything goes to zero, okay? If that doesn't happen, if United States central balance sheet, if it doesn't do anything like this, between 12 to 14 trillion dollars, because let's come back, okay? Before I look at your altcoin, let's come back. This year, there are about $9 trillion in treasuries are maturing, $9 trillion, and the deficit the United States government needs to function, okay? Just to function. Plus, they have plans, you know, Social Security, infrastructure, and all that. You add $2 to $3 trillion more, you know, border war, all that stuff, all the expense. So 9 plus 3. So we're talking about 11 to 13 trillion dollars. U.S. government needs this year. 9 trillions in treasury that's maturing, plus 3 to 4 trillion dollars because of the new beautiful bill, right? So where are we going to get that money? You have to issue more treasury bonds to issue that, and there are no buyers in the market to buy that treasury, not for 12 to 13 trillion dollars. So we have to have an aggressive buyback plan. And when that buyback plan happens, I hope nothing breaks before that. It's, you know, if anything breaks, we are at the stage. Look at this contraction in the money supply. We are at the stage, if this thing goes any lower, something's going to break in the system. And it's going to break so bad. You know, I don't know how. It's so scary. Trust me. Yeah, this is not a small thing. The contraction of money supply at 25% is just crazy. It's never happened since 2003. This is the first time we're witnessing, you know, after the Great Depression, money supply contracted almost 26%. That is crazy. But it cannot go any longer. I'm looking at the charts. That's why I'm bullish. They will have to start printing, and it's going to be significant print. But when that happens, this is when you're going to get Altseason. Until then, you're going to go sideways, and you're going to pull your hair, and you're going to be like, hey, man, fuck crypto, fuck this. But until Bitcoin dominance drops and Fed starts printing, there is no Altseason. It'll be sideways action. You have to wait. There's no other chance. Watch TV. Go on a vacation. Do something. Instead of, wasting your time. Start working out. Because this is not going to help looking at the chart, looking at the portfolio every day. It's a recipe to do a fuck up. You will fuck up if you get antsy. Just relax. You have to calm yourself down. Go out. Do something. Go meet your boys. Do something. But until we start printing, we're not going to have any Altseason, okay? And it might drag. There's no specific numbers. I'll tell you. I'll do a live when we start printing or the dominance starts to go down. Money has to come from somewhere. either Federal Reserve prints or the money comes from Bitcoin. Okay? New money starts printing from Tether or USDC, and the dominance goes down. You know, from Bitcoin to money has to come from somewhere. If it comes from both sides, it'll be incredible. But I will tell you when that happens, okay? And, you know, you got a gist of it. So there's no point getting antsy. Okay, I showed you Aventus. Which were the altcoins we were talking about? Polyswarm. Oh, you said DGen, right? DGen. Let me look at DGen. There's no option except being calm. Well, what do you want me to look in this, man? Tough to look at a chart like this. It does not have much history to it. I don't like it, man. Sorry. I'll just give you a bullish scenario and a bearish scenario, okay? If something like this happens, then you're one of a lucky motherfucker, okay? Is that gonna happen? Well, you can't say anything like that at this moment. We could, for you to feel that way, this is the bar that I'm pushing. If we go above that, then there's a possibility that what we looked at before can happen. Okay? Once we get out of this channel, okay? Because it could go in this channel for a long time. Like this, come up, go down like that before a final melt up, or it never melts up. Maybe they fucked you. Could be a scam, you know. But as of now, the most important thing is for you is to go above 0.00878. Once we cross that number significantly on a weekly close, if the weekly close is above 0.0078, this is when I would get bullish on this DGen. Or it could be one of the scam shitcoins just designed to take money from you. Yeah, you have to cut your losses, you know. If you got into a shitcoin where, you know, you took a chance. You know, by the way, you are a warrior, you know. You are a warrior. You're not stupid. You're a warrior if you took a chance. It's just because it sounds and looks stupid because it didn't work out. If it worked out, everyone would be like, oh my lord, right? But you would feel stupid. People will make fun of you if it don't work out. It's just always like that. But if it works out, if it sticks, if this shit goes up, you know, and crosses this, we go above these levels on a weekly close. If we go above these levels that I mentioned, then this thing is gonna moon so hard that they will just you'll be one lucky motherfucker. Okay, just look at this, the 618. Let's look at the 618. Being conservative, 618, that's 42 cents. Where is it now? That's a 100x, bro. Close to 100x. 45 cents. Okay, 40 to 45 cents. Yeah. Don't bet the farm. You know what I mean? Nothing on the channel is a financial advice. Just my opinion. I'm some guy on the internet. What do you think about Rotterable? You hold this? Bro, Rotterable. I'll tell you Rotterable. You know what I'm talking about? It's like a wedge. You know, instead of... Would I be surprised if this comes back down? Can it? It can come back down to this level right there. But, you know. As of now, how I see it. Only one pump we need, okay? One pump. Shark teeth pattern. If by July, August, if you're able to reach this level right here. I'm doing this just because you are an old member, bro. You're one of the best guys. You and your brother. You've been cheering me and you've been loyal. You're like a brother. You know, that's why I'm telling you this, okay? If we, you know, if by July, August, we are able to reach this level, then we could be aiming ridiculous numbers, okay? But again, by July, August, we have to reach at least this level. Okay? By July, August, you'll be like, that is so fast. How is it possible? You can't go that. Yeah. Well, for the numbers that I have for Rarible to be achieved, goes up, crashes, and you know, does something like this. Maybe July, August is right here. I'm pushing it. Maybe you know, November, December, because I'm bullish until Q1, possibly Q2. You know, we'll see as we get closer. But will this level come? Yes, I think so. We're going to 29. It'll depend how quickly we come to this level. You know, 29, 32. I have ridiculous number. I don't want to say those numbers because it will not sound good if I give those numbers. You know, that's how I see it. It'll be ridiculous numbers for Rarible. But if this could be the top as well. It's if and when do we reach this level, that $26 level, 26, 29, you know, this level, because there'll be a lot of dumpers, you know, like people gonna dump this shit. But I have ridiculous numbers. Can you imagine $1,000? Stupid, right? You're stupid. Yeah, but hey, I'm not the one calling for it. You know, at least $400. Or look at 618. It's 400. usually the wick goes a lot higher. We'll have to see again. How's it psychologically for everyone, man? How's everyone coping? Sunny? We're all come to Croatia. You know I'm crazy. I would come to Croatia. Joseph? I will book a flight and just randomly come to Croatia one day. I like you, that's why. You know. I remember the video that you sent me. Since that day, I like you, you and your brother. You're just like me, crazy. It's just I have time. I don't do anything except crypto, man. So I want to help my brothers because you have your regular jobs, right? You work. It's very busy to stay focused, and especially it's depressing when your shitcoins like, you know, going down like this, the way this been the most grueling bear market ever. And now people have lost hope. Think about, we are ever going to get Altseason at all? Or Bitcoin is almost, you know, $111,000, $112,000 where, you know, altcoins haven't moved. We are at the bottom. And everyone's questioning their decision to be an altcoin. But as I said, there are a lot of shit coins, man. And not everything's going to pump. You got to be at least a decent project. At least decent. You have to see if there's something going on in the project, you know, or not. If there's some sort of movement with developers join the Discord, see what is going on. Because there are many scams, you know. There are more than 1 million cryptocurrencies. And, you know, they're not all gonna pump, man. They're not all gonna pump. Some never gonna pump. They're gonna just go to zero. There are, I would say 80%, I would say 85% are scams. They're just there to make quick money and go. So, you know, you have to define which one's a legit project. And, you know, sometimes, you know, I'm invested in this thing called Augur. Okay, you can call it a shitcoin. Augur is a betting platform. Okay. What the fuck? Look at this. Look at this red. Oh my god. Look at this right now. I got this red. What the fuck? Let me see. On. Do I have that red? No, I don't have that red here. But on this, I have this red. Look at this. Just today, it went this low. Like on this chart. On this chart, it went this low. Look at this. It made 20 cents low on this chart. What the heck? That's crazy. So again, you know, this is, you can call this a shitcoin, you know, but I'm into it, like deep, balls deep into it. And it could be a huge mistake. It could be a mistake of my life, you know, because the community is talking about forking this coin, and this chart would get invalidated if they are talking about forking this coin. Okay, so I'm just looking at this trend line. The biggest indicator for me is this trend line. Okay, we tried to go above this trend line several times and keep on coming back. Once, twice, thrice, went up, came back, retested it, came up, and now the price is at 73 cents. If this thing moons, brother, it's a huge risk that I'm taking, you know? Huge risk. I'm glued on that Discord. You know, this is that Discord. That's August Discord. I constantly keep a track of what the developers are talking about it. Here's the forum in their Discord. Dev, right? I look at what are the new developments. They are working. There's 6 or 7 guys. This guy Mika, he's an OG, okay? He's been into crypto since 2014, and he has worked on several projects, big projects, okay? So I solely invested this by just looking at the chart, but they're talking about a fork. If they're talking about a fork, then this chart gets invalidated, and they could start a new coin, a V3. Augur has V1, V2, V3. They can start a V3 where this chart gets invalidated, and all my numbers and theories could go out of the fucking window, okay? And it could be another scheme to just scam investors. But there's a new team now. If you go on a Discord, they have a new team. These 3 people, this guy, these are all devs. They've been on this project since 2015. Okay, these are old OGs on this project. And Augur was the first dApp built on Ethereum. First ever dApp. Like, imagine you have Android and Gmail was the first application built on Android. You know, it's like that. On Ethereum, something that was built for the first time was Augur. And it's still into existence. Why is it still into existence? There's so many scam projects came and went away. This thing is still alive. That just brings curiosity to me. And this is the new team, Lithius. You call it Lithius or Lithius, you know. This Angus and this another guy is part of the thing. There are like 3 or 4 people there. And this Doc Flores, this team here, 3 or 4 people in that team as well. But you got to know, the founder of this coin is the founder of, he's the co-founder of Founders Fund. You know what is Founders Fund? Peter Thiel. Peter Thiel is who owns Founders Fund. And Joey Krug is the co-founder who founded Augur. So Joey Krug is pretty tight with Mika and all these people, okay? And Joey Krug right now manages Founders Fund. And he has probably billions of dollars, you know, like right now. Because Founders Fund is, I think, the second largest crypto VC firm right now into crypto. So these people have access to billions, you know, because they are friends with Joey Krug. And Joey Krug left the project, but he manages Founders Fund. Okay, this is my theory. So at some point, these motherfuckers are going to pump this coin. You know, look at this. If this thing goes if this thing stucks and don't go to this level, because it hasn't on other crypto exchange. But if this thing starts pumping, bro, if this thing starts pumping, sky is the limit. Okay, sky is the limit. It's a prediction market platform. I don't want to go through the whole thing. You know what is betting. There are very few use cases into crypto. Everything is a fugazi. Everyone thinks, oh, we're gonna do this. We're gonna do cloud computing. We're gonna do robots. We're gonna do this. It's all fugazi. Okay, until there's real world assets where there's a real use case. The real use case right now for crypto, except finance, except banking, games, there's another thing called betting. Okay, where real people bet on things. Okay, there are not many use cases into crypto, and I feel betting is a big use case. There's about $1 trillion people bet on horses, games, you know, a lot of things. And on this platform, you can build a market. That's why, you know, I've taken a big risk and got into this platform called Augur. You know, it could be a risk, it could be a shitcoin, it could be another Ponzi scheme where, you know, developers just wants to make money, and, you know, it could be. But I've taken a risk. I'm into it like balls deep. We'll see how it plays out. Tomek, yes, bro. Come to the airport. Pick you up, bro. I have an apartment here. Everything is ready. People are saying no Altseason. That messages my head, so I feel unsure. Patrick, Muro. Where? Muro. Until. I'm just looking at this chart, okay? I'm looking at the altcoin dominance chart and the others chart. Others dominance. Right there. You know? This is the most important chart that I'm looking at. Okay? I wouldn't be worried about this chart until if I'm wrong and it drops to these levels. Even at these levels, if it drops, see, your coin is down 90%. So why worry? You know, if it drops another 20%, fuck it. Where are you gonna go? Where are you gonna go? What are you gonna do about it? You know, you just gonna... All we can do is bitch. Oh, fuck this. Oh, man, this, that, right? We can't do anything about it, right? But I think it's the bottom. I don't think we go this low. The dominance does not go this low. And this could be the bottom. The dominance for others is this bottom. And my goal is that 20%, 19 to 20% dominance. Can we go higher? Yes, we can go higher. But do I have to take that chance? Where we are right now, we are in shithole right now. You know? And, you know, for us to do well, I will not look at any other individual charts getting out of the market. I will get out of the market when we reach this dominance level of others, reaches 19 to 20%. I am out. And when Bitcoin dominance reaches about 45%, can it drop lower? Yes, it can drop to 30%. Will I wait for it? No. You made a lot of money? Congratulations. Will I wait for it? No. I'll be out, bro. I'll dump on these motherfuckers. Can't wait anymore. I want to live a life. As I said, 20% of my capital will be into crypto that I'm never going to sell. You know? Okay, questions and answers. I'm just gonna chill now. Oh, I didn't talk about Swftcoin. Swftcoin is here, okay? This is Swftcoin. What's gonna happen to Swftcoin? Swftcoin can come back down to this level, okay? It could possibly spend by the same number of days that it has spent here. So look at this. It likes building arcs. Right, perfect arcs. So, just like that, it can come back down to these levels, okay, before heading up. But the number that should be important, that you should be looking where it is going. I'm very bullish on Swftcoin, my friends. Swftcoin is going to surprise a lot of people. This bull run. And the bull run's not over. It's just starting. If you have lost hope, yeah, a lot of money will be made. But there's a possibility. As I said, next few days are going to tell us what's going to happen. Next few days, okay? We're not very far. We're very close to what's happening. Aioz. The only thing AIOZ makes me bearish is Aioz. I'm bearish. See, I've been bearish on Aioz. So this motherfucker could come back down to this level right here. Like not this low, but you know what I mean? Like this level. This is a level that I intend it could come back down. That's a big drawdown. Aioz 65%. Is that gonna happen? Don't know. Not sure about it, but hey, that's what I expect. And this is what I expect it to do. Once it comes back down, a little bit of accumulation and then go back up. What time is it? It's 1 a.m. in the United States. Who's from the US? Who's in the United States? No, bro, I don't hold any Epic Cash or Aventus. I was thinking of buying Aventus. I get unstable. But I have a strict rule to stick to 7 altcoins. Because I want to take profits. I have someone that I know who's into 62 altcoins. Okay, 62 altcoins. That's a recipe to lose money. You won't be able to take profits if you're in every Joe Schmo altcoin. 7 altcoins. And it has to be like this. 3 blue chip altcoins. You gotta be in 3 blue chip altcoins. I'll tell you my blue chip altcoins, okay? Bitcoin Cash, Chainlink. You can be a Litecoin, XRP. Then, you got 4, right? These are, even Solana. Solana could do a 10x from here where it is, okay? $1,000 to $1,200 Solana. So, yeah, but Ethereum is gonna do well. It could probably be between $10,000 to $20,000. Ethereum, yeah, I think so. Yes, I'm looking at the chart, man. I'm very bullish on Ethereum. A lot of people are pushing back on Ethereum, but I'm bullish on Ethereum. Ethereum is gonna do well. Solana is gonna do well. Holland. Okay, what time is it in Holland, bro? God's creation is in New York. I took my daughter to a bar today. We had a great time. She had a graduation today. So she had a party, so she all dressed up and looked nice. So I was like, you want to take pictures? I was like, where are we going to go, Daddy? I was like, we're going to just go outside our house and take pictures in the lawn. And she was like, no, I wanted to go somewhere nice. This is the first time I took her to a bar. A really nice spot. She's only 14. And yeah, I want to show you pictures, we were together. Look at that. I just came back from a bar, with my daughter. If you want to experience love, I think you got to have a kid. Man, look at that. She was like this little. This is amazing. The best thing ever. When we came to this house where I live right now, she was like this little. This little. It's crazy. Yeah, it was a beautiful bar we went. It's called the Bygone. Where you can see the whole skyline of Baltimore. pretty cool where I live. Look at this. I don't know if you're able to see this, but you can see the whole skyline of Baltimore. Ah. 7 o'clock in the morning in Holland. Okay, let's look at. You want to look at some meme coins? Some degen shit that could pump. Let's look at Floki. What's happening with Floki? Okay, Floki can come back down, okay, to this level before it goes up. It can. Will it? But I don't know. It can come back down to this level before, you know, you get a burst up. But I think Floki is gonna do a Shiba Inu this cycle. I have a feeling. Floki's gonna. Look at this. And usually they pass this 618. Okay. I think the wicks are like so huge in these meme coins. It's gonna be crazy, man. Yeah, can we come back down to this level? Yes, we can. Will it? I'm not sure about it, but we can come back down to this level. You know, really low before we move up. But this is the level for me to take profits in Floki. That is 9x from where it is right now. If we drop from this bottom right here, then we are talking about 23x. And I think it's going to go halfway. So it's a 40 to 50x from where I think it's going to drop at, you know. It's going to come back probably in this range. Low-key. Again, don't hate me, man. It's just a chart. Just look at the chart. Let's do a 3-day. You know what I mean? Come kiss this. Come kiss this and then, you know, bounce back. And it could be the bull market. People don't realize the bull market lasts for only 90 days. The real bull market lasts for only 90 days. You waited all this long for 3, 4, 5 years. And the bull market is going to be 90 days. Count the day that when your coin starts pumping. Massive, okay? I'm not talking about sideways. 2x, 3x and it goes sideways. No. Not like that. The real way to get out of an altcoin is count 80 to 90 days, maybe 120 days, pushing it 120 days. You want to get out of the altcoin? You want to take some profits? Look at the number of days it has pumped, okay, significantly. So 90 days to 120 days. The real bull market for altcoin only lasts this much, where you just go crazy. You go berserk. It's called a euphoria, right? That lasts for between 90 days to 120 days. I don't call 2x, 3x a euphoria. I'm talking about 6x, 10x, you know, 4x. Big gains, okay? Like 20x, 30x. If that happens in a frame of 90 days, that's your signal that we have reached the top. Because it always happens. Only a few days, okay? Bull market, you waited for like 3-4 years and you'll be like, oh, it's going to last for at least, you know, like 500 days or 300 days. No. It's a small window. Okay. It's Ray TV, baby. All right, man. I've given, I think, a lot of information in this. You want me to chart anything else? Any requests? Any questions? Let me know. I'm gonna go in a bit. It's very sophisticated, me smoking and drinking. Oh, bro, I did BCH in the start of the video. I'll do it again for you. Okay. SLP. Okay. I'll do SLP and then do Bitcoin Cash. Here's SLP. Okay. Shitcoin off all. See, as I see it, can't go any lower than this. If it goes any lower than this, then it's doomed. Okay, when I say doomed, that means it's finito. Lose any hope of making any money from the shitcoin SLP. But what I see here, at the fib retracement. Look at that. $0.02 is an important level. After 2 cents, it's 4 cents and 11 cents. I have a feeling we'll go to 11 cents. Just a feeling. Okay, nothing else except a feeling as of now. I have a feeling we'll go to 10 to 11 cents. I have a feeling there's no TA, nothing. I just have a feeling. By the end of the year, December, we should be at this level, but where will I take profits? I have this altcoin, okay? I will take profits between 4 to 5 cents. 4 to 5 cents. I don't need to wait for it. Will we come back to 786? If you look at technical analysis, this coin can do really well. And depending on what I expect, because there's a possibility this bull market lasts until 2026, till third quarter of 2026. There's a huge possibility of that happening. Okay, but it's just how much, what's the risk you want to take? Okay, and I don't want to take a risk. I want to de-risk. So what do I think? You know, we go to these levels right there. You know, 236 level. Spend some time there. We go up to these levels. Spend some time, jerk off, you know, for a few months. At the end of the year, we start going up aggressively. As I said, 5 cents is my level. 4 to 5 cents is my level. But we could push up, keep on going up come back down, and everyone thinks bull market is over, and this shit goes up to $1. Okay, you know, to $1. Yes, it sounds stupid, but as I said, you know, how much risk I'm willing to take. 5 cents, 4 cents, because it'll spend a lot of time at 2 cents. If this is the top 5 cents, if for any reason this 5 or 7 cents, 8 cents is the top, then we will spend a lot of time at 2 cents. The moment you realize that you missed the boat and you know you didn't sell that shit at 8 cents, you know, 5 or 8 cents, and you missed the boat, it will spend time. When I say a lot of time, that means a lot of time. If it's not supposed to go to $1, then what's going to happen? It's going to spend a lot of time. Right here. Let me show you how it's going to play out. If it's never going to reach that level, at 2-3 cents, it's going to spend a lot of time. And it's going to hit, you know, like this 5 or 8 cents level. And it's going to come back all the way back down. Right? Like that. You know. Depending on if the project decides, you know, Mavis runs Axie Infinity. There are a lot of people working for it, and you know, I'm constantly on Twitter, and they post stuff on it. But this is a SLP is a currency, you know. If real currency dollar keeps on depreciating, I don't expect, you know, SLP to appreciate that much. We can get swings, but eventually it goes to zero, right? It's a currency in a game, so you cannot let people keep on making money. You know what I mean? The currency is designed, which has unlimited numbers. This will always drop. So every chance you get to get out of the shitcoin, you take it. And I'm going to take that chance between 4 to 5 cents. I'm going to get out. If it goes to $1, all power to you, my brother. But this is the range that I'm getting out, between 4 to 5 cents out of the shitcoin. BCH. Okay, this is the second time I'm doing BCH on this live stream. Okay, 618 level is at $1,300–$1,400. 2618 is between $7,000 to $10,000. That's the 2618 level. Okay, that's where we are going. Okay, but if you see the 3618 level, just because, you know, I called Bitcoin Cash between $20,000 to $25,000, and it's been going sideways. It's been going sideways all this time. Those numbers were if it didn't go sideways this long, okay? And I'm coming back to my numbers. Just because we went sideways this long, that's why I have updated my numbers. And whoever thinks it's ridiculous, you have, you know, you have your own mind to think about why it's ridiculous. But, you know, I look at Fibonacci, and the Fibonacci tells me if Bitcoin Cash is able to pass this $10,000 mark, okay, something like this happens, there's always a possibility we go down first, this $200 to $280 level before we go up. But if this happens, that if we reach to this $8,000 to $10,000 level, and if it's if it's not the top, then $25,000 is out of the window. The next top, there'll be a big crash here, but the next top is between, I would say, $40,000 to $45,000. Okay, $40,000 to $45,000. That's the next top for Bitcoin Cash. If we are able to pass this $7,000 to $10,000 mark. Okay, but that's my Bitcoin Cash prediction. $40,000 Bitcoin Cash. If we are able to go above this 2618, that is, and there's a strong possibility because we went sideways for so long. My prediction for Bitcoin Cash was in this run between $10,000 to $25,000 was my prediction. But as of now, I think between $7,000 to $10,000. If and when, it depends on how fast we go up and when we reach where Bitcoin is. There are a lot of different factors, that I have to see, right? Where altcoins are, where the crypto market cap is, and all that stuff, right? Where the dominance is. It depends on what time we reach that $7,000 to $10,000 mark. And when that happens, if that happens, the next level up is $40,000. Yes, it sounds ridiculous right now. We are at $395. But will I wait? No, I will not wait. When I'm unloading, my shit is at $5,000. At $5,000, I'm out, bro. I don't need to wait till $10,000 or $40,000. I'm not calling you stupid, but hey, I have a lot of Bitcoin Cash. Will I wait? No. As I said, I'm a winner because I'm going to have 20% off my stash that I'm never going to sell ever. That's just going to come back down to these levels. Wherever it goes, either $10,000 or $40,000. This thing's going to come back down. Whenever that happens, at these levels, okay? At $800 to $1,000, maybe it's possible $500. Okay. Do I have, imagine if my portfolio is certain $1 million, can I see my portfolio go down, 97%? No, I don't have the guts. From $10,000, say if this is the top, can I see my portfolio go down 90%? No. That time is over, bro. $4,000 or $5,000, I'm very happy. Okay, I'm the happiest kid in town. But all power to you if you can't wait. Well, JH, bro, it's not me, it's the chart, man. It's the chart. I'm nobody, okay? I'm some guy on the internet, but you see the 2618 level, the last 618, and I believe in Fibonacci. And I'm being conservative, This was $1,300. 1363 was the last fib levels. The next fib levels, and usually the wicks go higher, okay? It's at 7,900. I'm talking about wicks. If the wick goes to 10,000, I'm calling this as a top. I'm not saying that there will be next level. If there's a next level, there's no in between. There's no $20,000 or $19,000. The next level up is $40,000. Yes. So, yeah, and this thing's gonna crash 90%. Okay, and I don't have the guts to do that. But as of now, the chart tells me, to be concrete, $7,000 to $10,000. Yes, I'm not. I would start selling at, because just because I'm a pussy, I would start selling at $4,000 to all the way until 10. That's how I would do. But yeah. You have to understand, there are a lot of hedge funds, a lot of big guys I'm a small fish. Even if I have $1 million right now in the market, I'm very like a teeny mini fish. Like, I've met people, man, with a lot of money, you know. So if you have like $10,000, $20,000, and you have ridiculous numbers in your mind, these big guys gonna dump on you, man. You know, this is my one time to change my and my family's life. You know, if you don't know, if you are a dumb motherfucker, don't know what to do with your life, you're working at a Burger King or, you know, McDonald's, I don't know what to tell you, man. You know, like, then, you know, you have to take chances that your shitcoin goes to the moon. You know, if you have only $5,000 invested, I don't have $5,000 invested. I have my life savings invested in this, you know, thing. So I don't have to wait that long. You get it, you know. And I don't consider myself rich. There are some rich motherfuckers that I've met, you know, that I know have a lot of money, $100 million, $400 million. You cannot even comprehend. Do you think they're gonna wait? And these are individuals. You count hedge funds. Do you think a hedge fund who bought Bitcoin Cash at $100 right here is gonna wait till $5,000? They'll start dumping all the way. They'll start dumping right here, okay? This is when they'll start unloading. This is when they'll start unloading. Okay? All the way up, they'll start to unload, okay? They keep a small bag, just a small bag, maybe 5% bag. You know, their 5% bag is in billions, okay? So, you know, keep that in mind. Yeah, Aioz, Jud B. I already did Aioz, bro. I already did Aioz. You just have to find it. Sunny Singh, Shrey, I am in Fairfield, California. My California brother. I was in Malibu. Everything got burned down when I was in Malibu. The restaurant where we ate, you know, it was one of the oldest restaurant in Malibu that me and my friends had dinner. After I left, within 1 week, just within 1 week, that thing got burned down. And I saw that in the news. And I was so shocked, man, that I was just right there. That thing got burned down. Mel Gibson, Britney Spears, you know, they used to go there for dinner. They had pictures of all these stars. I'm just telling you a couple of stars. But they had pictures of these stars, you know, at these places. And the thing got burned down. It was, what was this place called? It was McDougal's or Moonshadow. Okay. I'll show you a video of Moonshadow. It was called Moonshadow. That thing got burned down, bro. Me and my friends were having fun, having a good time at Moonshadow. Look. It was right by the ocean. Can you see it? It got burned down. Like totally burned down. Like Moon Shadows. If you look at one of the oldest bars in Malibu, totally burned down. Look at this. This is Moon Shadows. Okay. I was at this bar and it got burned down. Look at this. I was right there, bro. Moon Shadows. Look at this. I was sitting right there just a week before it got burned down. My friend lives like 5 minutes from this coast. He's a CFO of this company called Polyswarm. And we were at his house. We had a reunion. We were like 5 friends having a good time. One of our Patreons, a member of our Patreon, came to see me, you know, and he was there at Moon Shadows. And we met. I got him a drink. This place got burned down, bro. Life is so uncertain. And we worry about all the shit that we're going through in crypto. But, yeah, man. You know, just relax. Don't be too greedy, man. We have this one chance and it's not gone. A lot of people have lost hope. I've been talking for too long. Give me a minute break. You talk. Jet says, respectfully, Shrey has been saying BCH for 10K. I don't say anything, bro. I just look at the chart. Who am I to say anything? You know, I'm nobody, man. I just read charts. And the chart tells me 10K, okay? 7K to 10K. That's what the chart's telling me. I'm nobody. Who the fuck I am? You know, I'm nobody. You know? It's just the chart's telling me, you know. But do I have guts, you know, to do that? BCH, 20% of my stash of BCH, I'm never going to sell. Never. That is for my kids, okay? That's for them to flourish, you know, grow and get bigger. People don't realize what blockchain is. It's going to be the future. Not just Bitcoin. Everything will be built on blockchain. Everything what we do. But just let me show you Dow Jones, okay? Let me show you Dow Jones. Have you ever seen the chart of Dow Jones? Let me show you the chart of Dow Jones. Okay, then you know. You know, this is DGI, that is Dow Jones. This is the oldest chart on the internet you can find of a company of, this is not a company, but like it's Dow Jones. This is the oldest chart that you can find that goes to the Great Depression. Okay, this chart goes to the Great Depression. Okay, it's from 1897. The last date that you see here is 1897, right? 1897. Bro, just look at this chart. How tumultuous this is. How tumultuous this is. No? Look at this. It's crazy. Up and down, up and down, up and down, up and down. Then you get a big pump and they get a huge dump. Crypto is in this phase right now. And if you're a long-term investor, if you are a 25-year-old guy or a 30-year-old guy, fuck this dump, okay? This dump is going to happen. What we are going to go through is this pump. And there will come a dump like this, okay? There will come a dump like this. But if you're a long-term investor who's between a 25 to 35-year-old, and if you don't give a fuck, if your shit drops to this level, you know where you're gonna be the next few years? The next 30 years, 20 years, you know? That's where you're gonna be. That's where you're gonna be, okay? We think short term. We think short term, short gains. Everybody wants to be a millionaire, billionaire, right? But as I said, everyone's different depending on their age frame. If you're 60, your priorities are different. If you're 40, your priorities are different. If you're 25 to 35, your priorities are different. Everyone's in a different game, bro. You know, so, but crypto is in this phase right now. We are in this phase right now. This. Okay? And we are going to, this is the last big run that we're going to get. Last big run that we're going to get. After that, the dump's going to be so bad. Yeah. So be prepared for it. If you sell, you are a winner. If you sell here, if you sell here, if you sell here, and you're lucky to sell here, okay? Even if you sell here, you're a winner, okay? Because you're not selling at a loss. You understand? You're not selling at a loss. You know, you're just taking profit. You know, where we are in the cycle, we are here. Where your altcoin is right here. If you take profit, you're not a loser. You're a winner. You're a winner. Think where it's going to go down. This shit's going to go down where you cannot even imagine. Where you cannot even comprehend. That shit's going to go down like that. If you look at the total market cap of altcoins, you know, I'll just give you this for free, okay? I'll just give you this for free. I'll give you this for fucking free. Because you waited this long. Not everybody's gonna watch this live stream for 2 hours, you know. People who are there. What I expect. Total market cap, I feel you're gonna go probably to the 17 to 20 trillion dollars and drop like this, okay? Like this. It's gonna go to zero, man. Your altcoin is gonna go to zero. No one even is prepared for it. There's a possibility that goes to a fucking zero. Okay? And if you don't sell your shitcoin between this phase, this phase, this phase, and this phase, it's a recipe to get fucked. You're a winner. You sell here, 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 here. Okay? But the idea is to start selling all the way up. Okay? You cannot sell. Elon Musk can't sell here. He has all the AI in the world, all the algorithms, everything, all the information he has. I can guarantee he can't sell at the top. But what I'm telling you, I'm nobody, okay? I can't tell you anything, okay? I'm just telling you what I'm gonna do, okay? But I'm not waiting for the top because it's a recipe to get fucked. Oh hell nah, I'm gonna be an old grandpa in 20 years. JH. Unc Shrey's gonna... No, I'm gonna disappear, man. I don't know. But like, when I think about it, you know, I have money. But I think about it, okay? When I'll have the money where I don't need to be worried about money, what I'm gonna do? There's no end to this, okay? I cannot live my life if I don't have ambition. Okay, I won't be this glued to the screen like the way I am, but crypto and blockchain is part of me now. I went through a symbiosis. Now I cannot get away from crypto. So what I'm gonna do, I'm 45. What I'm gonna do? You know, I'm gonna get away, just make my money, get away, just disappear? No, I'm not gonna disappear. I have made friends. I have, you know, people that I met because of crypto. I'm not gonna leave this community just like that, high and dry. But the level, the frequency might go low. I might, you know, right now it's boring. So, you know, I do things if I like it. You know, I make videos now once a month. Because what's the point of coming every day or every 2, 3, 4 days and talk bullshit? I'm not making money from YouTube. You know, this is not an intention to do that. I'm just, you know, doing this all for free. You know, it's like, you know, human brain, AI and everything. You know, it's just knowledge is for free. It depends on you how much you want to take it. People who want to take it, they're going to take all this knowledge and, you know, get better, even get better than me, right? It knowledge is for free. You got to give it. You cannot encroach it, you know. It's this, there's someone somewhere will find a way, right? So my goal is to give out as much information. God has given me a mind which see small little details here and there, right? And I'm able to figure out, and I have time to do that. A lot of people don't have the time and ability to do that, and I'm focused, right? All these years, this is what I've been doing. So it has helped, and I'm giving it for free. I believe in karma. You do good, good things happen to you. So I want to do good, but I'm not that good that, you know, people would just, you know, especially, I don't want to call it a race, but people don't get appreciated when you give things for free, okay? Then I had so many questions on Twitter, here, do this, do this, do this. No, I'm not a fucking, what is that thing called? I forgot. You can play it from two sides. Right? I have my time. You know, the time is worth, you know, $300 to $400 an hour. If you don't appreciate my time, you know, me coming live, then I don't appreciate you, brother. You know, I have the ability to create that money per hour. If you don't appreciate my time, then I don't appreciate you, you know? So anything you give for free is not appreciated, what I've learned from life. So that's why I've started Patreon. You know, I didn't even know what Patreon is before 3 years ago. JH, yeah, I always appreciate you doing this live, Shrey. You for people. Yeah. How are you, brother? Why do I think JH means Bill? Bill, are you, is this Bill? Is this Bill? JH, are you Bill? Bro, I missed this WhatsApp conversations. We should do a call today. If it's Bill. Okay? I'm in the right zone today. But anything else you want to look at, I'll look at it today. I'm in a good mood, man. I'm in a good mood. Let's look what's pumping and what's dumping. I tell people, you know, you can be in a t-shirt and flip-flops and shorts, you know, until you become successful. Okay? Until you're a billionaire, you don't have a right to be in flip-flops and t-shirt. What I've learned, you know? What I've learned. Look at GET. What is get? Miranda? LTC. Okay, I look at Litecoin. Let's call this such a long consolidation, man.
My, oh my. My, oh.
See this wedge that's forming? This is 3-day. If you look at it weekly, still a wedge. If you look at monthly, yeah, now we are talking. It's a perfect wedge. Whenever this explodes up, man, I'm being conservative, but here, that's what I see, man. $1,600 to $2,000. It's $87 right now. Litecoin. I'm not pulling numbers from my ass. You know, if you look at the fib retracement, I'll give you that number too. Look. $618 comes to 1,700. Did I do the fib retracement before this? I just told you the number, right? Look at this, 618 comes to $1,500. I'm not pulling numbers from my ass, man. It's nature. Fib is nature, okay? Fib is nature, and you know, I'm putting numbers. Yeah, I believe in nature. I believe in cycles. I believe in nature. And that's what's telling me. Yeah, $1,500 to $2,000. That's what's Litecoin is. $87 right now. You know, you believe it, you don't believe it. You know, like being conservative. $1,000 being conservative. Being super conservative, $1,000. Litecoin. Or this is if we go below. I'll give you a bearish scenario, okay? If this thing's gonna go down, then it's gonna go down so much, it's gonna come back down to this level, okay? Like when I say $3, yes, it sounds ridiculous, yes, but it has happened in the past. Right here, $4, $3. That's where it's gonna come back to. We are $87. You think Litecoin with such a market cap is gonna come back down to $4? No, right? I am very bullish. Next 250 to 300 days, I'm bullish. No matter what the fuck says in the news, Trump gets killed or anything bad happens, I don't give a fuck what happens, okay? We are bullish for next 250 days, but how we go up, if we go up like this, that's what I expect. We go up like this, okay? It's not gonna be easy. It's not gonna be easy. The way we go up, it's gonna be such a big chop. It's gonna go up like that, okay? But there are some cryptos which are unlucky. They'll go like this, sideways, 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 and they'll go up like that, okay? There are many cryptos that'll do something like this. They'll go sideways all the way till you get exhausted. All the other cryptos are going to the moon. Your crypto is going sideways, and then you sell that shit and it's gonna moon like a motherfucker, okay? That's how it's gonna play out. GST for Miranda. Okay, Miranda, you see GST. Next level for me is between 5 cents. Yeah, 5 cents. 5 cents is the level for me for GST. There's no other way. If we are going to get another dump in GST, then GST has to pump to 5 cents. Between 4 to 5 cents. 4 to 5 cents. Get a dump, you know, and then go up. Look at the 618. Look at the fib retracements. I don't consider this as a dump, you know, where we went. I'm not. So I consider this as the, and I think there's a possibility we go to 618. I know it sounds ridiculous going to $1.44, but that's what, you know, just chart is telling me. If you look at the long chart, this is weekly. If you look at a 3-day chart, that's where the price is gonna go. As I said, I call these, all these coins are shit coins, okay? Shit coins. But you want to take a risk, so that's where I think it's gonna go. Okay, and it could be 2026 of July, August that this can happen. Yes, it's a long wait. Okay, it's not Q1, Q2, or Q3. You know, it could be a Q4 where you reach this target. But 4 or 5 cents is a significant level where I think, you know, big dump's gonna come, and the dump might come back down, all the way back down to the levels, you know, go, you know, just destroy all your hopes. Yogesh Raj, Dogecoin. I need to take a piss. Hold on. I'll be back. Well. Doge. You see, I'm not pulling everything from my ass. It's just charts. It's just charts. Why did the music stop? I don't like that song. Where's that moon song? Oh, Picture of Me. I like this song. Okay. Looking at Doge. Yeah, we can't go any lower than this. This is it for Doge. Yeah, we can't go any lower than this. This is it for Doge. This is the bottom for Doge. It'll be one of the first movers, I think. The only thing that I'm wondering is this timeline. I'm not sure it's gonna stick to this channel, or it's gonna get out of this channel. Because usually what happens is we come very close to the all-time high and make a cup and handle, This is a cup. You understand what is happening right now is a cup. And then we form a handle that goes for 3-4 years. Okay, it goes for 3-4 years. Like this, cup and handle pattern, where Doge goes like this. Just because we got taking long, okay? This, can we go to this level? $1, $1.50? Yes, it's possible. But we can come close to the all-time high. This 68 cents and 70 cents could be a top, and then we go in this bear market for Doge, where shit goes down, like up, like that, comes back to this level, and goes up like that before Doge moons. Okay, before Doge moons. So yeah, 70 cents, 69 cents will be my level to get out of Doge. You know, that is like not much. That is 270% from here, 260% from here. But I've been calling for Doge when Doge was here. Okay, I was calling for Doge when Doge was here, right here. I called for Doge. All these numbers I called. If you go back on Dogecoin, I was calling for it. Just because it's taking so long, you know, I'm coming to this cup and handle pattern. So for me, it's very important for me to get uber bullish for Doge to $1 or Doge to $2, you know, is to break this pattern above 65 cents on a weekly. If you do that, you know, then I would get bullish on Doge. Or else this is the level, 68 cents. You know, 68 cents I would get out of Doge. That doesn't mean I'm not bullish on Doge. Doge is gonna do great things. You know, Doge could be the currency for Elon Musk on Twitter or whatever, you know. I don't know. But I'm just looking at the chart. You know, the cup and handle could happen and we come to 17 cents. You know, this low. You wanna wait for it. You don't sell at 68 cents. Come back down all the way from 68 cents to 17 cents. You know, almost 75% drop. 16 cents. You want to do that? You know, long-term investor, yeah, but Doge is going to do well. You know, if you look at the trajectory, 2030, 2035, yeah, this thing could be $2 to $5. Yes. But as of now, you know, this is my threshold for Doge, 68 cents to 70 cents, just because it took so long, you know, for Doge to come there. Shun man, Theta still got a chance. Yes, bro. I'll do Theta for you. Just because you're here, okay? I might delete this live stream so that nobody's able to see this live stream again. I'm doing this because I've studied Doge chart. I mean, Theta's chart rigorously. When I say rigorously, because I have a lot of theta. Okay. And this is where we are going with. This is where we're heading to. We would have a stop. I'm not saying we will not have a stop, but I'm not going to say where we're going, okay? Because I've left those things for our Patreon. But the next place where we are going for theta is here, okay? And we would spend a lot of time there. When I say a lot of time there, that means we would go here, 2.5, possibly $3, crash, come back up to another 3.36 and crash, and go back up to probably $4 or $5 and then crash before we go up. Okay, so we have this phase that we have to go through, a bullshit phase, before these numbers. Okay, it's not gonna come easy. It's gonna be tumultuous before we go up, but that's what I expect. I have studied this chart to the T, and as I said, I'm no god, but I believe theta will have a difficult time. A lot of people say, oh, you just draw lines. No, man, there's a lot of rigorous data and process that goes into what I do. And I believe that this channel plays a crucial role in it. Theta will not be able to cross this channel easily. Okay, that is between $4, like $4 to $5. We get a big crash, 40 to 60% crash. So yeah, I think there'll be 2 to 3 crashes before theta goes ballistic. Okay, there'll be 2 to 3 crashes before theta goes ballistic. So it'll require a lot of patience. For theta. But coming to the zone, I think by June, July, you could see theta at 275, possibly $3. Yes, it's possible that you could see that, but it's going to get tumultuous once we reach this trajectory. And the last crash between will be $4 to $5.50, and then boom, dump, before we go up. The final numbers that I have are on Patreon. On my Patreon, I have a full chart of theta, where I'm getting out of theta. I have a lot of theta, 57,000 theta to be precise. Okay, guys, it's been what? 2 hours, 50 minutes. I think it's long enough. It compensates for all the time that I was away. And I think I'll keep this stream for a couple of days and delete it. Maybe I'll delete it in one day, because it's long with a lot of information. Yeah, we'll see. Okay. And you want me to go or you want me to stay? What do you want me to do? Yes. Okay. No. Let me know. Let's do a poll. If you can do a poll here. Let's see if you can do a poll. Start a Q&A, start a poll. Never did that. Matt Arnold, what's up, man? Thank you, Shrey, BCH, LTC, Theta, SLP. Yep. I just got on. What's good, bro? Matt. All good, brother. Enjoying my life. You know, enjoying crypto. You know what's the best part of all these 6 months? My health has been really good. The happiest thing that I've come across, except money, all this trauma that we've been going through. We're going through this 4 or 5 years of trauma. The best thing that came out of all this is my health. I am very happy, healthy, and very focused, like super focused, you know? I know what's important and what's not, okay? Stress is not important. My health is more important, and I've been working towards it, so it's been great. %67% yes. So I'll stay. Okay, another poll. If I should delete this live stream or keep it for people, because there's a lot of information here. Matt Arnold. Okay, I'll do that, brother. 1 second, okay? Why am I not able to do another poll? Start a poll. I'm not able to do that. Maybe because I just had a poll. Need to close that poll. Okay, Swftcoin. Bro, I just did Swftcoin. Right there. Swftcoin, right there. Okay, Swftcoin can come all the way back down to these levels before it goes up. Are you on Patreon or not? Are you on Patreon or not? Because I have Swftcoin chart on my Patreon. Okay. I reviewed this on our thing. On a live stream. This is the second time I'm reviewing it. But Swftcoin can come back down 40 to 50% before it goes up, okay? But do you know the numbers that I have for Swftcoin? It's at 1 cent right now. Do you want to take a chance if it drops down to this? It's like taking a huge chance. You know, will it drop down to this level? There's a sure possibility that it can drop down to this level, but do you want to take a chance if it drops down? Because I feel it's going to pump after that, but the pump level where it's going to pump, you know, I'll post it later once it starts pumping, you know, later on when we come close to where I'm taking profits, you know, not now. But yeah, that's Swftcoin. I'm very bullish on Swftcoin, but it can come all the way back down to this level. It's possible. Not 100% sure about it, but it's possible. Look at the days we spent here, from here to here until we started going up. 363 days. So I see the local top at 363 days. 363 days makes it, what, November? November. So, do I give a fuck what it does in between? No, I don't. If it goes down, it goes down. I just see my portfolio go down because the numbers that I have. And please don't delete, because there's a lot of information in the stream, man. Sometimes I just go live and I feel, I want to talk to people, and whoever's there, I want to give them information as much as I can. But this don't happen all the time, So this live stream, it's like 2.5 hours. I fucking, give a lot of information in this live stream. Matt Arnold, I can't afford the monthly price. I'm an Uber driver. I average about 1,100 a week, unfortunately. I understand, bro. I understand, bro. Okay. Sometimes I really want to make the Patreon for free. Seriously. I want to get out of this bullshit. Trust me. Sometimes I don't want the Patreon, man. I feel like I'm constricted. I feel like I'm being choked, to give another information. I wanted, I joined, my whole goal when I joined YouTube and Twitter was to provide information as much as I can, whatever's in there, and I feel, sometimes I feel it's not a good thing to get on a Patreon. I'm not, I just want to give as much information as I can give. But, people kept on saying, start a Patreon, start a YouTube channel. That's why I started the YouTube channel. I started a Patreon. And now I'm constricted to this thing where, I want to give information where I can, I want to give all the information for free. Everything for free. But as I said, what I learned from life, anything you get for free is not appreciated. So I've learned from myself. Yeah. So, because I would get so busy. Imagine, I have numbers. I have Patreon tiers. I have $300, $500, and $5,000. Why do I have $5,000? Do you think I want that much money? No, so that people don't fucking bother me. Because I had so many phone calls. My initial tiers of my Patreon was $10, $20, fucking $100. That was my initial tiers, right? But I started getting so many phone calls and so many people started reaching me out that I was not able to handle it. I was like, they wanted, it was not me who wanted to start Patreon. They were the one who was like, start a YouTube channel. I used to post chart on Twitter. And they wanted me to start a YouTube channel. And I was like, that is a lot of liability, a lot of effort, because a lot of people's expectation goes, on my shoulder. And I don't want to do that because it affects my trading strategy, right? I didn't want to do that because I want to trade for myself. But, there were a lot of people who wanted to talk. So I opened a YouTube channel and then they initiated. They was like, hey, start Patreon. I didn't even know what Patreon was until, somebody mentioned it. And I did start. I think it was a big mistake to start a Patreon because, now I'm like, I don't like feeling being in prison. I want to give, I consider all of you as my brother, whoever, I started YouTube to make friends, to be with people who are like me, like-minded, because I don't have friends like that. So I wanted to share all the information because you guys are working. I'm not working. I'm doing this 24/7. I wanted to do this. But, the people who wanted to talk to me on the phone, and I'm only one guy. how many people I can, for $100. There were so many people who were calling me on the phone. They raised the price to like $300. There were still a lot of people calling me on the phone, and I'm only one person, man. I want to trade. I want to win this race. If I'm talking to you, how I'm gonna win this race? You're gonna lose, I'm gonna lose if I'm not able to focus on what I'm doing. That's why I raised my price to $5,000. If somebody wants to speak to me, because I can't handle, there are so many people who want to speak. I can't handle, it's not for the money, man. I'm going to make my money in crypto, not from your fucking monthly subscription, that pays my groceries, it does, it helps, I appreciate it. I'm not being an asshole, but you understand, I'm here to change my life. Your monthly subscription is not going to change my life. Crypto is going to change my life. And I don't want to lose that opportunity. If I keep on talking to you or talking to several people every day, it's going to fuck my wavelength. This thing, you have to be in the zone to be in this, I do charts. There are times when I'm in the zone and suddenly you get a phone call out of nowhere, or you have appointments to make, you have commitments you have to make. You can't be in the zone. So that's why I raised my price up, and I hope people understand that, because you have to be a psycho to be into crypto and deep down into it, especially technical analysis. Really, you have to be psycho. Your pressure, that you can take is just, I cannot explain right now, but it's crazy, man. It's crazy. Give 24 hours before delete. I like being trapped between a rock and a hard place. No, man, we're all gonna do well, bro. Thanks for the $10, by the way. I just went in a rant because I had a few glasses of wine. It's just wine talking. But I appreciate everyone, man. I wanted to be around crypto brothers, because very few people in it. And I know you feel bad right now. I know exactly the emotions that you are going through, the way you feel. It's bad. It's sad, bad. Bro, every phase will pass. Before dawn, you have to go through the darkness. We are going through a very dark phase that's gonna test your limits, what you're made of. Once you pass that phase, there will be a dawn, a new beginning. After a rainstorm, the sunlight looks amazing, right? We have a crazy rainstorm, windy, fucked up weather, and then it's calm, sun comes out, and it's beautiful, right? That's how it's gonna be. You have to faith, stick to it, what you're doing. Enjoy the summer. That doesn't mean, just because the crypto is down, that doesn't mean there's no real life out there. There's still life out there. Go jogging, go enjoy the weather. Love your wife, love your girlfriend, and have fun, man. Crypto is gonna do well. I have no question about it. It's just a matter of time. You just have to get it right one time. Only one time. You fail. Crypto, you just have to get one time and it's all set. Lit of that wine. Yeah, bro. Is $1 possible for Swift XCN? DM me. DM me on Twitter. I'll let you know. XCN. I'm not sure about XCN. I know about Swftcoin. But I'm not sure about XCN. But this is my Twitter handle. Shrey TV Crypto. Okay? At Shrey TV. I don't post a lot of stuff on Twitter, every now and then I post stuff. But yeah, DM me, mention YouTube, you know, and I will, just because you're cool, bro, I will look at it. Swftcoin, only one coin, okay? I'll let you know. Yeah. I'll give you my handle. Just DM me. But I have a lot of Swftcoin. Just so you know, I have 100K worth Swftcoin right now as we speak. If it goes down, it goes down. I'm not trading right now. Me either. I just got on Twitter just to follow up on crypto news. Yeah, man. That's what I do. I'm on Twitter. Twitter is the news before the news, okay? This is the latest news. Bitcoin ATM operator CoinFlip is reportedly seeking 1 billion sale as the company explores strategic options amid rapid global expansion. Follow Tate. I like him, but I don't like him. Solar power is obviously the future for anyone who can do elementary math. I have solar power. You know, I came to know about Bitcoin because of RT. Russia Today was a cable channel. Now it's banned in the United States. The only channel news that I used to watch in the United States since 2008 was Russia Today. And in that, there was this guy called Max Kaiser. Max Kaiser had this program called Kaiser Report. Max Kaiser. Let me show you. Kaiser Report. This guy is Max Kaiser. This guy. Because of him, I got into Bitcoin. I wanted to buy Bitcoin in 2012 when Bitcoin was around $200. I called my friends, all my tech geek friends who are into, big corporate positions at executive levels. I called all of them. One worked for Microsoft, one worked for the conglomerate, and Bitcoin was between $200, $250. I was like, I want to put between $12,000 to $14,000 in Bitcoin. I was like, what do you think about Bitcoin? And these people said, nah, man, the United States government will not let it go. I got into Bitcoin because of this guy, Max Kaiser, because of he used to talk about Bitcoin since 2011, 2010. And I was like, what is this in Bitcoin? This guy always talks about finance and all. There was a program called Kaiser Report. I don't know if it's still there or not because Russia Today is banned. RT is banned in the United States. So, yeah. And, yeah, he talked about Bitcoin. And this is how I came to know about Bitcoin. And I talked to my friends and, sometimes you think that, your friends know everything, but they don't, Yeah, they are like a little frog in a pond where, by the way, the only guy that I watch on YouTube, the only person that I watch on YouTube is this guy, okay? Ivan on Tech. This is the only guy that I watch on Bitcoin. On crypto. If you want to get alpha, you watch Ivan on Tech. This guy is very literate. He's a developer and a YouTuber. He's somewhere in Europe. His accent's a little strong, but he's a good guy. The only channel that I watch on YouTube is this channel, Ivan on Tech. But it's to get alpha, you know, like he's like deep down into coding and all. He has his own company called Morales and all. This is the only guy I watch because, you know, if I just want to get alpha about Bitcoin, you know, or the crypto market, this is what I watch. But not TA. He's not a technical analysis guy. He's fucked up on several occasions on TA. But if you're looking at just to get alpha, he's a great guy, you know, to get alpha on crypto. Matt Arnold, did you follow me? Let me see. Yeah, I'm not sure. DM you. Is that you, Matt? Looks like it's you. Say yes or no, and I'll get back to you, bro. Nobody never try to send me bullshit, okay? I'm too smart to get scammed. So any scammers, any people, you know, phishing scams or bitches, you know, so many bitches that you cannot even fucking dream about, just fathom about. I had so many bitches. So a bitch emails me saying something. No, I don't open any links. If you send me any links, you're wasting your time. I will not open. I will not never click on any link. Okay? This is for people who try to do a phishing scam on me. Okay? So don't try. I will never ever click on any link that you send me or in DM or anything like that. This is not for you, Arnold. This is just for public in general. You know, because there are a lot of people who think other persons in crypto, and a lot of people are thirsty people. You know, people click on links just because a girl or a woman sends you a link. I don't need women. I have thousands, not hundreds, thousands of women. You know, when you reach that level, you don't get enticed by a woman sending you an email. This is for the fucking, how should I say, poor people. You know, poor people get enticed. Don't try to fuck me. You'll be wasting your time. Okay, it's almost 3 hours that we've been live. And it's stuck. Look at this BLX. Bro, I'm bullish on Bitcoin until 2030. I would say until 2030 to 2032, I'm bullish on Bitcoin. Until we stay in this channel. I'm bullish on Bitcoin. I'm bullish on crypto. Until we stay in this channel. Right there. Until we're in this channel, I'm very bullish on Bitcoin. And I feel this Bitcoin thing's gonna be a reserve currency of the world. This will be a world currency, bro. You know? And I do think it's gonna be $1 million. Not just $1 million. This thing's gonna be, you know, $2 to $3 million. $2 to $3 million, because I don't think it's gonna go down until 2030. You know, yeah, between $2 to $5 million before a big Bitcoin will have a big downturn that will seem like it just keeps on going down forever, but it's not now. I think it's 5 to 7 years away. 5 to 7 years away. And, you know, Bitcoin will keep on going up. This is the most positive thing that I've talked about Bitcoin. You know, if Bitcoin didn't go above $100,000 in this run right now as we speak, then I was expecting Bitcoin to drop to $30,000 to between $28,000 to $30,000 by 2028 or 2026. But just us reaching this level at the time where we have reached, I have changed my projections. The way that Bitcoin is going, there's a possibility we may reach between 3 to 4, maybe $5 million. You know, it's strong the way we are going, and I believe every cycle is gonna get longer and longer each year. So the cycle right here, right there, this was very odd cycle right there. And I think this last cycle, I call it a last cycle because this will be a big cycle which may last at 2028 or 2030, 2032. I can't get a right number to it. But if what I'm looking at, if it comes to fusion, then we'll be looking at Bitcoin to the number that you cannot even, comprehend. That's where Bitcoin will be going. Yeah. If you stick to this, is there a possibility that we come to a level where Bitcoin goes and comes to a level where it comes out of this thing? Yes, it is possible, but I think we'll stick to this line and keep on going like that. It won't be a drastic change. It'll be like slow, but you won't even realize. And by 2030, if you're 2028 or 2029, you look at Bitcoin, you'll be at $1 million. It's fucked up, but that's how it's going to go. It's not going to go frantic like the way it went from $17,000 to $100,000. It's not going to be that frantic. The Bitcoin jump that's going to be, upwards movement, it's going to be like this. That's what I expect. The movement that I see, it's going to be like this. You wouldn't even realize that it has reached $1 million because it's going to be so small. I always mention once Bitcoin reaches $100,000, it's going to become slow. After $100,000, Bitcoins become slow like a slug. It's going to be slow after $100,000. So you won't even realize that it has, 5 years passes by and Bitcoin's $100 million. You'll be like, how the fuck did Bitcoin go to $1 million? But it's going to go gradually, It go to 50, then come back to 40, they go to 60, come back to, 55, 59, go back to 70, and then go back to 45, and it'll be like that. That's what I think, how Bitcoin's going to play out to $1 million. You won't even realize that Bitcoin is $1 million when you look at the numbers, when you look at the date. But as of now, everything can change if and when I will see where Bitcoin is in December and in Q1. 30K is not out of picture. 30K Bitcoin is not out of picture. Okay? I'll have to see what time Bitcoin reaches the levels that I've mentioned. We will look at Bitcoin once we reach those levels. Okay? And we'll look at crypto at that time. Okay, I was in a car accident in March. A woman hit me trying to enter my lane. My car flipped 3 times. I went 3 times. I spent 3 nights in a hospital and came out only with cuts and bruises on my legs and face. Oh man, bless you, bro. You're lucky as fuck. My wife passed away in a car crash and a head-on collision. She was a medical physicist, man. She was coming back from work. Head-on collision, boom, gone. I had to buy a new car, so I sold all my XCN. I had to start from scratch, new wallet, new phone. It hasn't been easy. I understand. Arnold, JH. Damn, bro. Good thing you're here with us. Yeah, man. I'm so sorry, bro. You know? People don't realize we're just lucky to be alive to experience all the shit. You know? I have a friend who died at fucking 43. 43. My buddy who used to play basketball together. He fucking passed. And I came to know about him that he passed after 2 years. It was crazy. He was not my fast friend. He was someone that I used to know. Hey, tell me one thing, bro. Tell me, you guys, okay? I'll have a question for you guys. I was at a conference, okay? And I met a couple. Okay, I'm just giving you a random scenario. You're at a conference and you're just passing by. You know, you're just walking by and some girl, you know, holds your hand, grabs you, hey, where are you going? Stay with us, this, that, blah, 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 right? And being very flirty with you. And, you know, just grabs you, stops you, right? And you hold a conversation. And after like 15-20 minutes, you realize, you know, that after 15-20 minutes, okay, of having a conversation, the husband's right there in front of you. The tall guy, the 2 guys and a girl, right? And the girl grabs you out of nowhere, right? And, you know, the husband's right there. How would you react? You know, in that scenario where the woman's flirting with you and this and that, how would you react? Me, I have a bro code. I never fuck a guy's wife or his sister. It's just, these are my ethics. I would never look at someone's girlfriend, wife, or their sister. That's my bro code. I never do that. They're the ones I know, but I didn't know, right? And this woman started flirting with me, grabbed me at the conference, and it was like, you have to stay with us, da 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 da, and talking all this, you know. After 20 minutes, she introduces me. That's my husband, you know, and that's our friend. This, that, da da da. So, you know, how do you react? You know, like, I was not flirting with her, not my type, but you know. Like, as a man, how would you react? They're not all men who have bro codes. I have a friend who would fuck a dead person. JH, Shrey, just so sexy, bro. It was at a conference, you know. There was this bar that I always used to go just to network with people at a conference, because there are so many after parties that I get invited at a conference, and I don't like to go to these after parties because they are like in different places, right? I stay at the most expensive place, and at the conference where the conference is going on. The conference was going on in Venetian. I booked the fucking hotel, paid $550 per night at this hotel. Why would I go somewhere else, you know? If I was living at a hotel, I would think that people who are living at this hotel, who have some concrete work going on in a conference, they wouldn't be going to this fucking after parties. They were going to the nearest bar. So it's just like that. I would go to the nearest bar that is out there, right? I go by myself, right? And I met great people over there. But, it's just, I met this couple, and I have bro code, So the moment I realized that we have a husband in the scenario, my whole thing changed. Then I started talking to other people, right? But I don't have an intention to go fuck somebody at the conference. My goal is to network, meet like-minded people, get something that I know that I don't know. You know what I mean? So that's the goal of going to a conference. But what would you do if you meet a person at a conference who grabs you, and after 20 minutes of conversation, you go sit on the table and they introduce you? Oh, that's my husband. That's my husband's friend. What would you do? How was she 1 to 10? LOL. Well, personality 10. Well, looks, I would say 6. No, she was an awesome person, man. I had a great time, Thank God she stopped me. I'm not saying that, I don't want to be a dick and dissing these people. It was an incredible couple, but I didn't know what was going on. I was just passing by, and I stopped by. I went to the manager and I spoke to them. I was like, "Hey, why is this bar empty?" And they had an event from Exodus. The wallet people from Exodus. They had a event over there, so everyone left, and they had until 8 o'clock in the evening. No one could come in. So the whole bar was empty. So I was like, why is this bar empty? So I went there and I was coming out, and this lady just grabbed my hand. It was like, where you going? You're going to stay with us. And she was very outgoing, very nice, a good human being. But I'm just thinking as a husband's perspective, like I'm the husband, that's my wife, and grabbing another guy. Probably just friendly. I'm taking it too out of context, because maybe I've not met people like that. She was very kind. She's very funny, very good, but not all men think like that, okay? Not all men like Ashray TV, baby. Not all men have ethics. So, yeah. Yeah, I was focused, man. I was focused. The moment I realized there was she had a husband, I was like, I was only talking to a husband. I was not talking to the lady at all. Just a little bit, just to be nice, But she was very overly friendly. So, maybe they're watching my live, but I felt uncomfortable, during that place, there was a time when I went to DC on a rooftop. My neighbor's a cop, and he got divorced, and his 2 kids and wife left him. So I used to feel bad, and I told him, I was like, bro, whenever you feel, don't feel alone. I'm there for you. If you want to go out, I'm there for you. Just call me, okay? I'm there for you. And randomly, he calls me one day after 6 months. I was like, Shrey, what are you doing in the afternoon? I was like, man, I'm working. I was like, can you be up? Can we go out? This, that, blah, blah, blah. I was like, yeah, let's go out. So we went out. He's a cop, okay? He's a police officer. I sit in his car, and he gives me a bottle of scotch. Not a scotch. Scotch is from Scotland. He gives me a bottle of whiskey from Japan. And I look at it. I was like, okay, it looks nice, okay? And we're in a police car. And I was like, looks nice. I was like, yeah, that looks nice. I was like, yeah, have some. I was like, no, man, we are driving. You can't drink in a cop's car. It was like, I'm the law, motherfucker. Have some. And I was like, are you serious? I was like, yeah. And we both started drinking. We finished half a bottle of whiskey till we reached fucking DC. And we are in DC, right? Like it takes about 40 minutes to reach from Baltimore to DC. By the time we reached DC, we finished half a bottle of whiskey, right? And I am fucked up. I don't know about him. I am like fucked up. I'm in the zone, okay? And we go to this rooftop bar. We park his car at a police station. And the rooftop bar is like really next in Navy Yards in DC. And we go to a rooftop bar, and he introduces me to a lot of people over there. They're all police officers, okay? SWAT. He used to work for SWAT. And they're all SWAT members with their wives or girlfriends, okay? So there are a lot of people there. And I got introduced to a lot of people, you know. I was like, hi, hello. And they're couples. Some of them are single guys. So I got introduced. I was like, hey, this is blah, 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 right? So there was this couple that got introduced, right now. And where this lady was wearing a really low neck, half of her tits. I would say 70% of her tits are hanging out, right? And I got introduced, and I was like, hi, hello. So 45 minutes goes by. My friend is talking to some other group, and I'm by myself drinking. You know, I'm talking to a few individuals on a table, and I'm just chilling. And, you know, this lady, you know, that I met, I'm talking about the low-cut girl. She comes next to me, and she grabs my, you know, arm, and she rubs all the way. She was like, tell me everything about you, okay? Tell me everything about you. What do you do? And this and that, right? And I'm drunk as fuck. I'm as high as fuck. I'm like, I already had half a bottle of scotch, you know, whiskey, and plus we had few drinks by that time. So I'm looking at her, and I was like, don't you have a husband? And she was like, yes, he's right there. He's very cool. I was like, okay. So why are you talking to me? And she was like, we're just talking. I want to know everything about you. She kept on touching me, right? And I said, I only talk to women that I intend to fuck. And she was like all flabbergasted. She was like, what? Excuse me? I was like, yeah, there's no point talking to you. You know, there's no point talking to you. Why are you talking to me? You have a husband, you know. What I'm going to talk? How the weather is, you know, who I am, what I do. No, you know, we're wasting time. She poured a drink on me, you know, like I was like cold as fuck, and everyone looked what she did. She poured a drink on me. And she left. I called her husband. I was like, hey, come here, man. You know, so my friend Mike came out, my neighbor came out, and was like, what happened? I was like, nothing, you know. She was flirting with me. I don't have any intention to flirt with her. I told her I only flirt with women that I intend to fuck, you know, and she's married. So what's the point of wasting time? So there were two cops who were lesbians, you know, next to our table. They come to me. So you're not going to talk to us? You're not going to talk to us? I was like, you're like guys to me. Why wouldn't I talk to you? You know, I would talk to you. Why not? It was so awkward. But I don't have a filter, man. I say things what I feel, you know, especially when I'm drunk. I was like, there's no intention. Why would I waste time? I'm enjoying myself. I'm chilling. I talk to guys. I like guy friends. If I want to spend time with, I would like to spend time with guy friends, male friends, where I would laugh, have a good time, have a, you know, but like, why would I talk to a woman? You know, just don't make sense, you know. Or do I want to be your friend? No, I don't want to be a friend. Why the fuck waste time? So I just told her, hey, there's no point wasting time. You know, I intend to fuck. If I'm talking to you, it's just my valuable time you're wasting. Just for your entertainment? No, that's not gonna happen. Straight to the point, you know. I never take a girl to a date if I don't intend to fuck. If I fuck, I only spend money if I fuck a woman. I never take a woman to a restaurant or on a fancy date if I don't fuck them first. I told them before they come on a date. I was like, I'm going to fuck you first, and then we're going to go on dinner and date and all that, you know. I'm not going to waste my time because I'm coming from home. Every time I'm not in front of my computer, I'm wasting time, right? So if I'm giving you my time, I will only come if I fuck you, okay? After that, we're gonna go on a date. We're gonna go to dinner, drinks, whatever, right? That's the T. Any guy, if you are going on a date without knowing if you're gonna fuck a woman, you're wasting your time. Simple. Say that before. If you want to know me on my phone, and I'm gonna call you only 2 times. 2 times. That's it. On the phone call. No fucking text. I don't text anybody. It's just on the phone. 2 phone call conversations. You get to know me. I get to know you. I fuck you. And after that, bada bing, bada boom. And then we go for dinner. And after that, depends how it goes. How do you feel about Trump vs. Elon? I think it's man, it could be a scam, man. You know, these people might just talk to each other and make money. Trump and Elon both are smart guys, man. They've been, together. This out of nowhere, all this fight can't come just like that. They could have both making billions of dollars, They could have said, hey, we'll talk shit about each other, make money. Market will go down. We'll short the market. We'll make money. I don't think things go sideways like this, just like that, After a while, 6-8 months down the line, they'll be like, oh, apologize, this, that, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, I don't think it just went out just like that. He just gave the keys of the White House a few days ago. And out of nowhere, he comes blastering like that. Yeah, I don't believe anything I see on social media. You always have to ask questions. Why? And, why? Why would Elon go so extreme? Why would, Trump go this extreme? Suddenly, out of just within 2 days, it happens like that. It could be planned. Just take it with a pinch of salt and just, enjoy the market. I don't think of it too much. I don't believe anything that I see, man. I take everything, I question everything that I see. I don't believe science. I don't believe anything that I've been told. If somebody has told me that this has happened, that has happened, until I experience, I don't believe in it. So until I know that this is how it is. So you don't know until, because they could have sat behind doors and discussed everything, right? This is how we're going to play it. This is how we're going to play the market. You don't know. So, what is true and what is not. You just want to go with the narrative, what Twitter tells you, or what, news media tells you. No. I don't worry about all this bullshit. Yeah, that's crazy. The market was on its way up. Yeah, I don't think of it too much, man. I just look at the charts and, I don't worry about it too much. I posted a chart on my Patreon about Bitcoin coming down to between $97,000 to $95,000 way back before all this happened, So, yeah, I don't believe. Hold on. Let me show you that chart. Let me show you that chart. Hold on. Okay, right here. Okay, on May 14th, I posted this chart where I said, you know, where we were, we would pump. We went to 100, instead of 108, we went to $112,000. But this is what I posted, okay? So this is a 4-hourly chart. Okay. So my target was $108,000, coming close to the all-time high, and not. We went above. I think this happened because of this guy who posted a bet against Bitcoin. You know, this big guy, Flynn or something. That's why we went above this. But right there, that's where we are. And I think this was my bullish scenario, $108,000. Come to very close to the all-time high. Come very close to the all-time high, not pass it, but we passed it. We come to this position, and I think there's a possibility we may come back down to 97, possibly 94. Let's see. It's not 100%, but I think that's where we are going. And I posted that chart right there. It would go up, you know, when we were like 100, 103. We go up and then come back down. Okay, man. It's a long time. This is a long live stream, almost 4 hours, 3 hours and 43 minutes. It's crazy how time flies. Yeah, I'm gonna delete this. Sooner or later. Okay? Too much information on it. You have a good night. Have a good weekend. Have a good time. Just relax, man. Don't stress yourself out. Good times are coming. Okay? Have faith and just relax. See you. Have a good night. Have a good morning wherever you are on this planet. Love you all. Later.